Hi everyone, it's Ben, and I have a confession to make. I'm dying to let you know about the relaunch of DP On Demand. There's going to be new and classic content uploaded monthly, in addition to 159 hours of already existing content. You can sign up by using the link below and get $2 off your first month, or become a $25+ patron to get a free month included with your patronage. That's all the content we normally offer on Patreon, in addition to DP On Demand monthly. This month's content is going to feature a classic Lost DP private show with the previous cast of DP, an episode of The Ass Cast with Ben and Jim Ass, a classic episode of that, and a new movie review with Ben, Jeff Holiday, and Adam from YourMovieSucks.org.
It was like there was a resolution at that moment, but there wasn't really.
Well, he's probably up on the hill.
Like that's where you cut the scene. Or loop the track or something.
You better get you and your steer out of sight.
Or not make a movie.
I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Good.
I was a beautiful longhorn steer. Me, I know longhorn steers. Been judging them for years. I moonlight as a longhorn steer judge.
New episodes will be released monthly after the 15th of each month. Here's the Lost show that was just uploaded, and as you can see, it's 6 days and 18 hours of content. Here's some of the private shows. There's a bunch of stuff on here. There's the Tommy Sotomayor, here's 23 Situations, Mind of the Manatee, Young Turks special. Click the link in the description below to get $2 off your first month of DP On Demand.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get away with this. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 900 and how many again? 945. I feel that old. Apparently, I am that old.
You are that old.
We've got Dylan Burns here, and apparently, when he was a little tyke, he used to watch us, and now he's not, and he makes me feel old. Welcome, Dylan.
Yep. Thank you. I watched you when I was in middle school. I watched you guys, which is pretty weird to be walking in here. It's like if you found out that, I guess for you it's pretty weird, but it's just, I remember in class getting yelled at by my teachers because I'm sitting back here laughing at Jim Ass during the math lecture.
I'm the exact opposite. I just watch middle schoolers. Disavow.
I do disavow, yeah. Milo has a bad record on this podcast.
Yeah, not a good record.
Oh, yeah.
Not a good record.
No, not at all.
Unlike Milo, though, I'm going to have a gay transition.
You're going to transition to gay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to convert therapy to become gay. I think it'll be a good life.
What kind of treatments do you think they would do on you to make you gay?
I hope there would be some sort of interior decorating. I really enjoy that.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah. So how's things going? I don't know. It looks like Steve Bannon is about to.
Yeah, and I have a news clip about that. I saw Dylan was watching it on his stream, and by the way, we are also streaming on Twitch.tv right now.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you're streaming us. That's what I mean. You're restreaming us on Twitch. We stream on Twitch, but we normally just mess around and play games on there. So no one really watches our Twitch channel.
Yeah, Steve Bannon's been sentenced to fucking around, so he's going to find out. So I guess, I just stream on Twitch and then I cut up everything and then post it on YouTube. It seems like the most effective model to scam the most people. All I need to do now is just add Patreon as well.
Well, you definitely did learn a lot from us when it comes to scamming.
Yeah.
It's all about the scams. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where this goes. The committee said 9-0 to hold him in contempt of Congress. So
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to claim executive privilege for a conversation he had while not working for the president that was way outside the bounds of executive privilege. Trump, a lot of people aren't really noticing, but Trump is trying to block basically everything that happened that day on January 6th from getting out to the public. All the conversations he had with staff, all the conversations he had with people, period, all the documents in relation to that. I mean, we just recently, not even that long ago, found out that his lawyer actually wrote instructions on how Trump could become president without having the most electoral college votes. It was basically instructions for a coup, like how Mike Pence would overthrow the whole system. And when you have just stuff like that just leaking out, I wonder if he didn't care at all about really that getting out, then what the fuck is he holding?
Well,
that's true.
There's that timing issue where there really was no reinforcements at the Capitol building for hours. Like, who has the power to deny reinforcement?
I don't know, but Pelosi and Pence, one of them, I think, finally called it in.
They had to call in something, yeah.
I was actually at the Capitol during January 6th.
Oh, did you see Nick Fuentes there?
I saw a lot of America First flags, the AF flags from his organization. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Flag
Yeah,
AF.
I saw a ton of those, actually. Yeah, I saw a ton of those. I saw a ton of AF flags. I saw a ton of South Vietnamese flags. There's a large contingent of the South Vietnamese community that was there for some reason. I maybe it's because of that one King Radio guy that just recently got banned off of YouTube after John Oliver covered him. Then there was, of course, a lot of American flags, Trump flags, stuff like that. A lot of people in military gear.
Yeah,
like helmets and black camo and stuff like that.
Did you have to go in undercover?
I did. I actually did the opposite. I went there in a Biden hoodie.
Yeah, I was. We saw Baked Alaska doing his stream in there, and he's still around doing streams. I don't
For
understand.
now.
I'm surprised that a condition of his release wasn't to stay off the internet.
The one guy that was suggesting that he snitched on people.
He probably did. I mean, Baked Alaska is not exactly known as a man of principle, right? So it wouldn't be that surprising if he was able to flip on a few people, or if he was willing to flip on a few people. I mean, his career is mostly known for being kind of in the purview of other people's careers and just doing stupid shit. And so if you want to do more stupid shit, I guess you can do a lot of stupid shit in prison, but not fun stupid shit. So I think he wants to get out.
That's from the fuck around and find out theory of
yeah, the theory of criminal justice. I almost majored in it.
I found out, so I stopped fucking around.
Yeah, it's a good lesson. Get it quite quick, actually.
Most people do. Some people just like to be pinballs, bounce around the machine.
So,
I would say the thing is, for me, when it comes to this whole January 6th, is I don't understand how there are still sitting elected congresspeople that the Republican establishment just allows people like Madison Cawthorn to say, you know what, we're gonna plan another one. Yeah, we're planning another January 6th.
Good luck.
And there's no punishment. There's nothing. There's I understand that they don't care on a personal level or they have no morals, but you think the PR would get to them at some point.
Right.
That there's people saying they're another January 6th. I mean, it's one thing to say January 6th was nothing, but then you say you're planning another January 6th. You think that would be a line.
Well,
and they'd be more prepared for it this time. It wouldn't go quite the same.
Well, yeah, Trump was basically pushing them to the door.
Yeah.
He set up everything. They're not going to have that this time. Biden's going to come out with his ice cream cone and shoo him off the lawn.
I was also there for the recent September 18th protests. I actually have all of that on my YouTube, and the cops there were so ready.
Yeah,
I saw cops for miles, man. There was helicopters over the city. There was people. And here's another thing. I remember, and I swear to God, I saw a contingent of Proud Boys. There was a watch out in front of a bar they frequented. But what I also noticed is that people put stickers outside of the hotels that housed people coming in from outside the city for the protest. So it would be a sticker that somebody put in the middle of the night that says, "This hotel has fascists in it." And the whole thing was crazy, but the cops were super uber prepared.
Changing the subject a little bit, there was something I noticed that you did a few months ago. Didn't you do some kind of wrestling themed competition amongst a bunch of people involved in your streams?
Yeah, we have. It's called the Hippy Dippy Championship. What we do is, since everybody like does internet blood sports, right? I took the fakeness out of it. Of this is a civil discussion. We're all here to learn. And I said, no, fuck this. We all know what we're here to do. And so I have two things. One where we try to keep it civil, the Hippy Dippy Roundtable, and the other is the Hippy Dippy Championship, where we have a wrestling belt where two people debate, and whoever gets the most judges voting in their favor gets the wrestling belt, which takes about it's like $300 to produce. It's a really expensive, high quality wrestling belt. We are buying the rights to music. People are gonna have entrance music. We're actually have a production staff working on making entrance videos for Titantrons. We are gonna hire a ring announcer for the next show, hopefully. We had one for the original. Vosh has been Hippy Dippy champion, and then he lost the belt on a technicality. He won that over Bastiat. Destiny. As in Stephen Bonnell is the current Hippy Dippy champion right now, even though there might be some complications behind it because of some backdoor stuff that I can't really talk about. The next one, which is scheduled, is supposed to be Destiny versus Infrared, which is that hardcore like Marxist Leninist guy on Twitch that yells a lot.
That's interesting. I saw that and I was like, we do something similar but not quite the same. We do something we call Actual Mania, and it's for our Patreon shows. It's basically people in our fan community and people that are like the Brett Keens of the world, like the DP lolcow kind of people. And we play videos back and forth and have them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different production, but I love the idea of mixing wrestling or promotion, that type of promotion, into what this is. The blood sports, it was always some big idea that there were people talking about, I don't know, ideas, but then when they show up, they're just...
By the way, you're a child molester, too.
Yeah.
They would go there.
I was on one night.
I got a picture of the belt if I can...
I want to see that, yeah.
Yes.
Throw that up. I was on blood sports with them guys, I don't know, a couple years back.
Okay.
And they had a one-on-one between two guys, and I think the one guy won the argument because he had more white babies.
Yes.
It was so stupid.
What was that on like Warski or something?
Like, what are you doing for the white race? I have 3 white babies. And it's like, oh my God, this is easily the worst thing I've ever seen. These poor kids, somebody takes them away.
It's quite the belt.
Yeah.
You can actually see it in the background of a lot of Vosh's streams from a few months ago because he had the belt.
Nice.
And he and it was just like something mounted on his wall. And the thing is, whoever wins it, you get to keep the belt. We don't like take it and pass it around. A lot of people don't know in wrestling and in boxing, they actually don't like switch the belt. They only do it in front of everyone. They go behind closed doors, they hand it back to them and get to keep it. It's like winning a trophy. They don't take the trophy back. Right? It's like a memento.
Yeah, I went to the big AEW show in Chicago.
You're a big AEW fan?
Yes, I am. I was at...
Look at my headphones. There's MJF, Max Caster, Jungle Boy.
Nice.
Yeah, I was... A friend of mine, we went to this kind of like before party kind of thing that lasted 2 days at this hotel we stayed at. It was run by Conrad Thompson. And he had his belt collection there, like not replicas, like the original belt that Ric Flair wore when he was the WCW champion and all that. And it was like there was a lot of drinking and stuff going on. And my friend, our friend Scott Henson, he's a pro wrestler, like an indie pro wrestler, and he's a furry. He dresses up like a big, like almost like a tiger when he wrestles. And it was late at night. We had a lot of drinks, and a bunch of the AEW wrestlers came to this party that we were all at. And I was like, oh, I couldn't believe we saw Flying Brian Jr. And Scott was like, yeah, I talked to him about, being a furry one time when we shared a card together. And then we turned the corner, and all of a sudden, Flying Brian Jr. is coming down the hallway, walking towards us. I'm like, hey, Brian, what's a furry? And he just looked at me like I was crazy.
Because you were.
Yeah.
That was the appropriate reaction.
And he was like, someone that dresses like a cartoon animal? And I'm like, yeah.
Anthropomorphic animal,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
Damn, he didn't learn his lesson.
No?
Did he have any idea it was connected to that? Did you tell him? Did you say it?
Scott was like, yeah, one time you wrestled in Seattle, and it was... I was quizzing him.
And he didn't remember it. He was like, "You're just some fucking whack job," and just left.
I think so.
He was there with a girl, and he probably wanted to be left alone. But
Yeah.
the fanboys were drinking.
Yeah. A whole bunch of we were watching. They had a big screen TV set up, and we watched Rampage as a big group. And then an hour after Rampage ended, a whole bunch of AEW wrestlers showed up already drunk. Like Rebel showed up drunk and gave Tony Schiavone a lap dance, and Marco Stunt sang karaoke. He sang a couple karaoke songs. It was pretty great. It was a good time.
Dude, I can't. I'm sorry, but I feel like Jim Cornette every time I see Marco Stunt walk
me
out
too.
there. Like I can't take it serious. And he's a lovely person, but maybe his place is on the indie scene sucking dildos like he was that one time. Maybe that is I don't know. I can't see him actually hit somebody. A wrestler be like, "Oh, that actually hurt," and then be like, "Oh yeah, I take this wrestler seriously. This is an adult man who knows how to fight."
Oh my God.
He's like 5'2" or something.
Okay.
I feel
Have
big.
you seen the picture of him next to Chris Jericho? Have you seen that?
No, but I've seen him next to other people.
He looks like he's Chris Jericho's son.
Okay.
He sings soprano. When he was singing karaoke that night, he had the highest voice I've ever heard on an adult man ever.
New gimmick for Marco Stunt. Mid-match, he pulls out like a 2-foot dildo out of his ass and just starts beating the person with it. And then when the ref comes to, he shoves it back in and pins him. That's the great equalizer right there. The foreign object.
You know what? That'll help the announcers make him sound more intimidating, because then they can announce him like maybe 5 or 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah. By God,
when he's on the scale. Yeah.
by God, that makes him 2 feet taller.
Have you seen Ricky Shane Page yet? Do you know who he is?
I've not.
He's RSP.
RSP.
Is what he goes by on AEW.
Yeah.
He's been doing some low card stuff.
He's on the dark matches, right?
Yeah, he's been on
I've seen
AEW
him,
Dark a
actually.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours. He's been on the show.
He's
I've
been on
known
the
him.
show, and we let the crowd. He had some kind of death match coming up the last time he was on here, and we had the fans vote what he would use as a foreign object, and the fans picked a dildo. And he sent me a video like a week later of him beating this guy with a dildo. Later on, it was hilarious.
I'm looking at him right now. Yeah, that's him fighting John Moxley.
Yeah, he's great.
And he had a match with Big Show recently too.
Yeah,
right?
he was like
Really?
him
Yeah.
He was at the big what was it, MacArthur Park, or the big 20,000 person event outside of New York City.
When I heard the Big Show had left WWE, that was when I knew WWE had terrible. We already all knew they had terrible problems with managing their talent, but that's when I knew their talent management problems had hit a new low. And after that, you just saw a wave like Bray Wyatt, Mark Henry, literally everyone. They got rid of Braun Strowman. Got rid of the I forget what they're called, but the 2 Indian tag team wrestlers. They got rid of so much great talent just so quickly.
Yeah, for the longest time, they didn't have to worry about competition scraping any of their guys because there just wasn't any real competition. They were the show, and that's changed. And now they're going to have to get back to keeping people happy. That's the biggest thing. Like, they can pay them all the money in the world, but a lot of the guys were just miserable staying there.
Yeah, I can imagine. The Big Show, he was basically getting humiliated on a weekly basis when it was the WWE. And the dude's a wrestling legend, right? WCW and WWE. His legacy spans multiple companies. And when he switched companies, that was a big thing, because that wasn't some old talent switching hands. That was new, young, developing talent switching from WCW to WWE. And he has that legacy. And to then have him crying like a baby, or getting humiliated, and doing the Netflix special and all this dumb shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but no one's gonna take you seriously.
Yeah, he's
while
always
I think
a monster.
I think they book him a little too hard in AEW, smashing QT Marshall and all these people that I'd actually like to see to develop. I'd like to see people go over him, in my personal opinion. At least they treat him with respect there.
Well, people will end up going over him, but they build him like a fortress so strong. The guy that does go over him, it's going to mean something. So I think that's the inevitable story they're telling.
And they don't really want to give anything to QT Marshall right now.
Getting beat by Big Show is not a bad thing for anybody. It's freaking Big Show.
Yeah, but that that happened with Sting recently, right? But the thing was, what happened was he gives a diamond cutter to Sting. He shoots right back up and then hits him, and then boom, QT's out. And I'm thinking, at the end of the day, it's still like a 60-year-old man, and like your move had no effect on him. Like at that point, you're building up Sting. You're not building up anyone.
Yeah, you know, since we're on the subject of wrestling, I did have a wrestling-related news story, and we have to play our cool intro, our news intro. Here it is.
He called me sir. It got me so fuming.
People are discriminating against wolves.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
Not sure if you heard about this, but Ric Flair is going to be an honorary host at a Donald Trump fundraiser.
Wow. This is the biggest controversy Ric Flair has seen to date. There's nothing else.
Nothing else.
Like, everybody just concentrate on this. He was like, Ric Flair was like, you know what? If y'all fucking hate me already, I'm just going all out now. That's what he said.
Trump needs a guy with a squeaky clean reputation at this point.
That's what he needs.
Well, if they're
to help him.
if they're gonna try and cancel you, you gotta go to all in, right? WWE Hall of Famer, he's going all in. WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair is among the sports stars announced as honorary hosts at a fundraiser being held by former U.S. President and celebrity WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump. Other notable honorary hosts for the event are Baseball Hall of Famer Tom Glavine, former NFL star Doug Flutie, country music singer Brian Kelly, and former Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Rodgers, among others. As you might imagine, Flair and the other honorary hosts are receiving backlash on Twitter for accepting the gig.
Flair would love to get backlash for this. Instead
oh my God.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Literally anything else.
Right. I'm not really surprised. I actually heard Flair was a big time Republican back in the day. Oh, Herschel Walker too. I saw you talking about Herschel Walker in your stream earlier. So he's on this too. Herschel Walker is a beast, and he was he had a long football career and then retired, and then he became an MMA fighter in his 50s and was fighting MMA in his 50s.
He did the whole George Foreman thing.
Yeah, and he's like 60 years old now, and now he's trying to get into politics.
Yeah, well, he wants to click off the final. He just wants a life all around, right? He just can't let somebody else have the spotlight. He has to constantly just be the one succeeding, right? Making other people be like, why can't you be like Herschel Walker? Be like the other people's kids.
Right.
Yeah. But the thing that gets me about this is AEW, which was the company that everyone knew he was going to go over to. Everyone knew he was going to manage Andre El Idolo, I believe is how you pronounce their name, right? This new wrestler in AEW, to the AEW fan base at least, from the Lucha community, and it drops that hey, he basically sexually assaulted women on the plane ride from hell. This was already public knowledge, right? But of course, Dark Side of the Ring, amazing wrestling fan documentary series, covered it, and everybody was like, oh my God, I never knew it was this bad, because WWE would make animated shorts of it.
Yeah, they did.
Were, cutesy, and if you see it, the women actually strip for him at the end of it, and the rest of it's history. But he sexually assaulted multiple women, so that's one thing. And the AEW fan base is probably a lot more progressive than most wrestling fan bases is, and connection to I would say WWE fans or everything. If you look at how they respond to stuff, and how Sonny Kiss has been more accepted, and Anthony Bowman, one of the bigger openly gay wrestlers right now, tag team member of the Acclaimed, they're being accepted and such. Nyla Rose. And then not only does he fuck all of that up with that, but he's like, I want to make it so it's literally impossible for AEW to ever even mention my name on air. And so he jumps on this as well. It feels like he was going to the most progressive company in history, and somebody was just waiting there with a sniper. One of the more progressive companies in wrestling.
Yeah, have they ever made a statement about that they're not hiring Flair or anything?
I don't think they would. Why would they even talk about it?
They're
right?
probably just waiting for it to blow over. Honestly,
I don't think they're going to bring him in.
You don't think so?
No. What's the point now? There's no blow over. If they bring him in, everything they've stood for far is in question.
He was at All Out. He was definitely there. They just didn't show him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met his daughter, because his daughter is married to Conrad Thompson, and she was at that thing that I was talking about. That I was at.
You're talking about Charlotte Flair?
Not Charlotte, but Megan Flair. Yeah.
The lost Flair.
The only Flair that didn't get into wrestling. She just married Conrad Thompson.
She let a wrestling fan get into her.
She did.
I do see Lowbrow Jester saying, isn't there a trans woman working for AEW? Yeah, Nyla Rose. As was,
Nyla Rose.
Dylan mentioned in the list of progressive hirings. And
I just, what really gets me about this is you said, well, maybe it'll blow over. I don't know. I feel this is like a Bill Cosby situation. Like now when you mention his name, it's kind of somewhat synonymous with the situation recently, you know? Like when you mention Bill Cosby, we all have those like memories, but it becomes like when you name his name, one of the first thing that pops in your mind is what he did, right? And when it comes to Rick, I mean, definitely in a more progressive lighting, it might be that.
Yeah, it's hard to really look at it objectively, I guess, because like I grew up on Cosby, I grew up on wrestling. With Cosby, I think I probably enjoyed Cosby's work more than Ric Flair's, and when I think about Cosby, I think he was much worse than Ric Flair. But I don't know, maybe time will tell. It's all bad. It's all disgusting. It's all inexcusable.
My top two favorite wrestlers ever are Ric Flair and Randy Savage. It's like a tie. So just as far as their body of work, they're my two favorites.
Toxic. They're all toxic.
They made a Dark Side of the Ring about Randy Savage, but he didn't come off looking that bad.
Oh, they asked the wrong people to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
If they should have just let Kevin Nash and Scott Hall talk about Macho Man, we'd all hate them.
I can't wait. Dark Side of the Ring, Mick Foley, once he like hugged a child too tightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He put a kid in the mandible claw.
I will say, though, that it has been proven that the Dark Side of the Ring guys edited Rob Van Dam's interview in a way that made him say things that he didn't actually say.
Really?
Yes, and he did tweet about that. He said, for the record, this was selective editing. I did not say that I saw I did not say that I actually saw Ric Flair do, like, grab the woman and put her hands on me, on himself.
And that's questionable, but
wait, are you talking about Ric Flair, or was that Rick's, what's his name? Razor Ramon, not Razor
Scott
Ramon,
Hall?
Scott Hall, yeah, Scott Hall. I thought he was talking about Scott Hall in that.
I think there was a part that was edited in a certain way that made Rob Van Dam, sound like he said that he actually saw Ric Flair grab the flight attendant's hand and put it on himself. And that he didn't actually say that.
Got it. Okay.
So, I don't know. I mean, their job is to make it look a certain way. They went into it with a certain... And there was already talk about this happening like months before that show came out. Like, people knew that this was coming, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty much known that Ric Flair he got released from WWE as a I don't know whatever his role was with the company. He got released months before this came out,
and that
right?
might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, it was a straight up release. It wasn't like a contract ran out.
It's funny that they'll release Ric Flair for that, but Linda McMahon can go work for Donald Trump with the whole grab him by the pussy thing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think that's part of this fundraiser. If you're a $10,000 donor, Trump will fondle your junk.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
Man, do you think there's gonna be like a coalition of like sexual assaulting like individuals? Like the Ric Flair, Donald Trump, they're gonna get together, start a political pact, finally like fighting for their interests as a collective group. No?
Yeah, I think they might all get together and start a new wrestling federation. GBTP, grapple by the pussy. Is that too much? Am I doing too much there?
You're fine.
I might be doing too much there. I'm seeing this people on the host committee here, Janet and Dale Westling.
It's almost wrestling.
I know. This is the World Westling Federation. Greg and Drew Westling? Who the hell are the Westlings? I need to know all these names. There's a Fisher.
Very influential family.
There's Art Fisher, no C, and Rona and Cliff Fisher with a C. What is going on here?
So Donald Trump with these fundraisers, if he doesn't run, he still gets to just keep the money, right?
Yeah.
But he can't like spend it on personal stuff, right? It has to be campaign stuff, pretty sure.
Yeah, but do you think what do you think the chances are that he spent election money on personal stuff?
Yeah, he might reimburse it if necessary, and like, I mean, the odds if there's any politician that would do it, it's that he's probably at the top of the list.
Right. Yeah, it's just weird that he's doing this. And
Has he announced he's run? Yeah, he hasn't.
No, he. Whenever he's asked, he's like, I've already decided, but I'm not going to tell you if I have or not.
So what is he raising the funds for? Like, is it even linked to anything? If there's no campaign, does he just?
There is a campaign, but he hasn't officially said that he's running. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the thing is, he campaigned between elections last time, but like, it's obvious he's going to run again. Everybody knows unless there's a medical emergency or something happens to him medically, he is going to run again. And did you guys see his speech in Iowa?
No. Oh, no. Was that the one where he said that if someone was going to run against it, if he decided to run, everyone would just quit? Anyone who was going to primary him?
I believe so.
Okay.
But there was an earlier part in that speech where he says it's rigged and everything, but then like randomly he takes out that old conspiracy theory and he starts just listing like all the evil Democrats, right? Like he does, like a bunch of like evil Pokemon or whatever. And then he lists Omar. Yeah, she married a brother. Get in America. Just throws it out there. Just throws the old Omar married her brother conspiracy theory out there.
Yeah, I mean, that would be public record. I mean, like, marriages are public record, so you'd be able to confirm that.
If she did, it would be pretty easy to find it out. Yeah.
Right. It's ridiculous. It's like there's plenty of... I've always noticed this with politicians. There's real criticism you could probably give towards any politician, even ones you mostly agree with. Mm-hmm. But people decide to make up these sensationalist stories about them instead of just attacking things that they've actually done as politicians. I don't understand.
That's the secret. Most politicians don't actually do anything. They just get elected and then go to sleep.
That's not true.
Most of them.
Sounds like the life, though.
It's a good life. New royalty. Let's go.
Is there a minimum requirement for representatives and senators to show up and vote? Because I notice a lot of times.
No.
Yeah, so they could literally show up to
Tulsi
none of them.
Gabbard, like during the end of her thing, was like literally like basically checked out. I was like, fuck this shit.
Wow, even John McCain showed up with brain cancer to stick it to Trump. If he can do it.
He didn't, like, he was just in this groove, though. He didn't done anything else with his life since he got out of the POW camp. So he had nowhere to go. He was like, I'm just going to go to fucking Congress. It's just like when you're old, you go mall walking or something, or you go down to the docks and feed the ducks at the boat near the boats.
My God, I could not imagine being that like have so little to do.
That's the life.
Is it? Is that your ideal retirement?
No, I plan on dying young.
Do you?
Perfect world.
I should start auditioning new co-hosts then, right?
I'm not that young.
Oh, hold on.
I figure anything under 50 is young.
Nah, I think like anything over like 30 is pretty old.
Oh my God.
Dying at 35 is old? That's dying young.
Yeah, that's old.
Oh my God. You're boom or Zoom. I don't know the word. What did the kids say?
I'm 20, so.
You're a Zoomer. You don't understand. I'm kidding.
I mean, like to me, you gotta imagine. Like I listened to you guys in like middle school, so I'm like walking into the retirement home, looking at the old stars of a bygone generation.
Where the Ric Flair is just waiting to get canceled.
Yeah, I just turned 40 this past May. When I started doing DP, I was 33.
Damn,
yeah.
7 years of DP.
Yeah.
That'll stretch out.
It already has. Just not in the right direction. It stretched me out sideways, but not vertically. Not the desirable stretch out. Check this out. Dennis Prager got COVID on purpose. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did hear about this. This shit's crazy.
He's a bug chaser. Here's a story about that.
A nationally known conservative radio host has announced that he intentionally contracted COVID-19 days after he came to Colorado for an event for Republican Heidi Ganahl's campaign for governor. Dennis Prager came to Colorado a week ago Sunday, October 10th, for this event with Ganahl. He said today on the radio that he tested positive for COVID last Wednesday. Prager described how he has been trying to catch COVID to get natural immunity.
engaged with strangers, constantly hugging them, taking photos with them, knowing that I was making myself very susceptible to getting COVID, which is indeed, as bizarre as it sounded, what I wanted, in the hope that I would achieve.
Hold on. Did he steal? Okay, that logo in the lower left hand looks really familiar.
That's DP.
Yeah,
he stole it from.
He just changed the color. I hate him.
And
damn.
I just want to say, like, he's going around trying to catch COVID. He catches it, and he's still trying to catch it. He's spreading it to everybody. He goes around hugging and mouth kissing or whatever the hell he said he was doing.
And you know, Dennis Prager at his age, like half the people he's hugging are probably around his age, which is the most susceptible age group.
Yes.
And he's saying this to an audience of people who are also, sorry, and this might be a shock to you guys, but most of the people I go to class with don't exactly like listen to the Dennis Prager podcast at every waking moment of the day. So the people who are listening to him and getting his advice are going to be people around his age, like these older 60, 70, 80-year-old people who are going to be being told, like, hey, yeah, go fucking catch COVID. Or nah, I'll give it to you. Merry Christmas.
This is sick. So how's he doing? He caught it, right? Is he?
Yeah, he caught it. He said he never needed to go to the hospital, if I remember.
Well, lucky him. I hope nobody who he was hugging and kissing after he caught it and died. He should be held accountable if that happened.
100%.
Natural immunity and be taken care of by therapeutics.
A Ganal spokesperson said they had no idea that Prager had COVID-19 until he announced it on the radio today. The Ganal campaign said it would notify everyone who was there.
Do you think he actually had it?
Probably, but he could be lying.
The thing that gets me is he says that, so in that segment, they didn't show this part, but in the segment, he talks about, like, I wish, like, all Americans got natural immunity. The amount of people that would die if all Americans had to get natural immunity, which we don't even know how long it lasts. So that means you might have to get natural immunity multiple times, right? Because people catch COVID multiple times. The millions upon millions that would die in that. I mean, right now we have 600 going on 700,000 dead. That's already terrible. We're talking in the millions. We're not talking 1 million.
Right.
We're talking 2 million, 3 million plus. That's the range we're talking about now that he wants us to fuck with for some reason.
Right. I mean, there are some illnesses where, you know, maybe it is better to catch it, but this is not one of them. Like no one suggested that you should get polio to build a natural immunity to it, you know, and no one suggested measles. You should just get measles to get natural immunity, or smallpox.
I think polio and measles are a little different than this, right? Like
they're different because they're different diseases.
Yeah, there's the numbers. Like I think they said that liberals and conservatives don't understand the actual numbers of this pandemic, and it's skewed by their political leanings. Like very few adults actually understand the exact ramifications of what this disease is doing in America. We all think, based on our political aligning, that it's either less or worse or affects people differently because of which the polls that have come out about it. So I could see why people are confused about everything. I just hope you stop trying to catch it and then going and kissing and hugging everybody on your way to try and catch it. That sounds so stupid to me and malicious.
What really gets me about all of this is the fact that Dennis Prager has a long history of being like a total asshole, right? I mean, I don't know if have you guys ever heard about the time he wrote an article saying that if you don't want to sleep with your husband, you're a bad person. Like, you should just sleep with him.
That's like an old Catholic doctrine.
Yeah, he wrote a whole article about how, like, it's the man's wild, beastly nature, and that you must, like, sustain the nature and be a good wife. And even if you don't really want to sleep with him, you got to sleep with him. I'm sure, like, I bet he, like, once he finished, he like walked up to his wife. He was like, so, did you read my blog today by chance? But he has a long history of being an asshole, but I've never actually seen him directly advocate for something like this that would just straight up just kill millions and millions and millions of people, just like everybody should get natural immunity. And he said it was superior to vaccine immunity, which the science on that is 100% divided on whether it actually is as effective or more effective or very much less effective So he's just saying not only is he just a monster, but he's also incorrect.
Yeah, and I mean, whether or not natural or vaccinated immunity is better, we can see the effects of catching the illness are almost always worse than the side effects of having the vaccination. So
yeah, so far, if you really want to catch COVID, you shouldn't be like troll fishing for it. You shouldn't be going out kissing and hugging everybody. That's disgusting. Find somebody with it, visit them, make long, deep, passionate mouth kisses, and then go home alone, incubate for 2-3 weeks, survive, and don't affect anybody else along the way. That's like probably the proper way to do this. He's saying just super spread. That's disgusting.
These are the type of people I have zero sympathy for. Like, I have sympathy for like somebody who just would like absorb disinformation and like didn't get vaccinated or didn't have the time to, or any of these things. He is somebody I have zero sympathy for catching COVID, because it's somebody who has deliberately not only put himself in harm's way, which is the fuck around, find out philosophy, but he is also putting other people in his direct vicinity at risk and all of his mostly elderly listeners at risk. I remember recently Lindsey Graham made a speech in South Carolina, and he's like, hey, everybody, I suggest you all get vaccinated. And his audience, mostly like 70, 80-year-old people, just start booing him. And he's like, well, I didn't say you had to. I'm just suggesting it. I mean, did you know that 92% of the people in South Carolina in hospitals are unvaccinated? And then someone just said, you lie!
You lie.
False God!
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Trump got booed by his people too that otherwise worship him. So the ideas that his side are now peddling are growing more support than he does himself with his own followers.
You know you're at that special level of crazy when you're like ready to either fight God or become him.
Yeah.
You gotta chill.
I saw this local news story the other day that kind of intrigued me. Do you know Cali Burger? You ever heard of that chain, Billy?
Of course, yeah. They're the owners of In-N-Out, and they opened up a location in Japan, and then they opened up here in Seattle.
Is it owned by In-N-Out?
It's not owned by In-N-Out. It's owned by the people who started In-N-Out.
Oh, the original In-N-Out people.
Yeah, so they went and made their Cali Burger options, which are basically In-N-Out, but they have higher class side accoutrements and settings.
So they just set up shop in Shoreline, which is north of Seattle, for those people that don't know, and they're fully automating that location. They're working their way to it, and here's the
Yeah, hello there from Shoreline. I have come to this quaint and unassuming strip mall for a preview of the future, and to meet this now internet famous burger flipper everybody is talking about.
Froyo place.
Not because of his performance, not because of her extraordinary technique behind the grill, but because of its artificial intelligence. We know from social media Flippy does burgers, but now in Washington State, Flippy's taken over the dangerous fryer duties.
Yes, very excited to have the first Flippy in Washington State and Seattle.
See the Flippy. Flippy does all of our frying.
You're
what
next.
did you think when you saw Flippy doing its thing?
Oh,
well, somebody's
got to
get
replaced by kiosks.
Really excited.
Somebody's got to beg the robots not to kill the customers, right? She's the first line of defense.
For the last 3 years.
The flesh shield.
They installed the first one in Chicago.
Yeah, this is actually across the street from my card shop where I would go buy magic cards when I was 11 years old. They moved down the road, but this is like my neighborhood when I was growing up.
Less touching and
so once automation replaces the entire workforce, we just have to we're just gonna all have to get paid by the government,
or we have to buy our own robots, take out loans to get our own robots.
Loans?
We can all just start podcasts.
Yes. What robots are going to podcast soon?
No one will watch or listen to podcasts because they'll all be doing their own.
Exactly. I don't have time to watch other people's Twitch streams. I just stream myself. Once I started Twitch streaming, you just stop watching other Twitch streams.
Oh yes. Yeah. I stopped watching YouTube when I started streaming on YouTube.
Okay, this is what's sick to me. There's actually robot code on these buttons for these machines.
Yeah.
What are these hieroglyphics, these roboglyphics? I don't like this. What's going on?
This is their language.
Oh, no. I don't appreciate this. What? There's not a freaking fry slide. Was that a tendies slide?
Yeah.
Was that a chicken tendies sliding down there? What? All right, robots. You can take over.
Yeah,
just
so
keep feeding.
They
me.
have one that can flip the burgers too, and they're just kind of working towards automating the whole thing. But basically, this guy's the owner of this location, and he said that it wasn't going to take away any jobs. They're just going to have all their employees will be customer facing instead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's eventually going to take away jobs, right? And for me, like the sad reality about these things is this is the type of shit I want to be excited for, right? I want to be excited that robots are making burgers. I want to be excited that robots are doing all this cool shit, like, right? But all I can think about is all the people who are now going to lose their jobs. Like, thankfully, like right now, the job market's pretty tight, but that's not going to last forever.
Yeah, one thing that I think about a lot as far as automation goes is what happens when semi drivers are automated, you know?
That's happening sooner than most other jobs.
Yeah. So all of those self-driving vehicles, anyone whose job it is to drive any kind of vehicle is going to be out of work. I mean, like buses. I even talked to a bus driver one time when I was riding the bus. I was the only person riding the bus, and I was on my way back from the bar, and I talked to him, and I was like, how long do you think it is before buses will drive themselves? And he's like, it's coming really soon.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he took off his face and
he
said,
was like,
we're already there. That would have been so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fully automated gay burger communism. How do you know the burgers are gay, dude? That's 100% straight beef patty.
Or I think the robots would be gay. That makes the burger.
Exactly. They're burger flipping gay. I might go there. They do like lettuce wraps. There's no way robots can wrap the burger in lettuce, though. They don't have, like, there's got a human being that's got to wrap my lettuce burger. Because I'll get a goddamn lettuce wrap just so the humans have a job. No buns about it.
They'll be able to handle lettuce.
I guess, like, these are the type of conversations where I start to think of, like, how do we actually restructure our economy to, like, deal with the people who are eventually going to be laid off of these jobs? I mean, people always say, like, well, eventually we'll just make more jobs, right? Which, I mean, like, so far we haven't really, like, hit that steep hill where there's not enough jobs for people. There are at the moment, right? We have usually we have like a 3% unemployment rate. But I do think there has to be like a moment, like, eventually, where there's just gonna either be a question about people are going to either need to work less, or we're gonna need to deal with the fact that we are hitting a possible precipice for unemployment. And what are we gonna do with those people who are unemployed due to no fault of their own?
Yeah, the only job I could see this creating is whoever has to come and maintain these machines. Other than that, yeah.
I think the talk of a UBI right now is there's a reason people are discussing a UBI, because, like, we're going to need to give people a basic income or a basic sense of living.
Eventually we'll have self-repairing and self-replicating robots too. So then then they'll take over.
When the robots just start humping?
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I think we're going to have like a basic level of living, like basic housing, basic food, basic everything that people will just have. And then they can aspire from beyond there to, I don't know, get their iPhone money or Magic the Gathering card money. Whatever.
What do they do to aspire? Like, what's the...
They become bards.
Bards.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bartering system where you have to sing for your fucking sandwich.
A bartering,
bartering. Yeah, it's the future. Because robots, like, they might, like, nobody wants to hear auto-tune, right? Robots.
Apparently, a lot of people do. I hate it, but I guess that's just because I'm old. Because young people like the sound of auto-tune,
which we established earlier.
Yeah. So I'll agree. I'm up there now. I'm getting up there in years. So yeah, thanks for reminding me again.
No problem.
I don't know how old this news story is, the next one, but I just find it'll seem like a pretty normal news story until they interview the woman whose house caught on fire. And then she says something you are not going to expect at all.
Well, I can't wait for this.
Get ready.
Well, now I'm excited.
Thursday, July 23rd. I'm Dan Martin.
Is this woman wearing a wrestling outfit?
This morning out of Trumbull
Is she
County.
gold dust?
It's a fire that started in a
going on
garage
here?
and spread to several other buildings. It's forced some people out of their homes this morning.
First News reporter Derek Lewis was on the scene in Leavittsburg shortly after that fire
I don't even know what
broke out
town
right
this
around
is in.
4 o'clock this morning. He joins us now
They're in front of the
live
Huntington
with the
building.
latest details. Derek?
Those are all over like the Midwest.
Yeah, good morning, Dan and Amy. I am in Leavittsburg, and I'm just going to step out of the way now so you can take a look at the scene, what is happening right here behind me. You can see that firefighters are still working to make sure that this fire is out. Smoke is still in the air, and firefighters are still over here trying to make sure that everything gets under control. I've been speaking to
WTFD?
neighbors when I got here
What
on
the
the
fuck
scene.
department?
They told me that it was shortly before 4 o'clock when this fire started, and they just heard noises, and then they came
Someone says WKNB, Youngstown, Ohio. Okay.
Uh-oh.
out and saw this fire, and they did what they could to get out of their
The
home.
murder
Now,
capital
one
of
person
Ohio,
who,
by the way.
owns this
Yeah.
garage
Capital.
here that is on
Oh
fire.
no,
is
stop
Heather.
it. Stop, dude.
What?
This is obviously a meth explosion.
This is so great, what she says here.
Tenny, Heather, tell me, you woke up around 3:45 and you saw this. What happened?
I woke up to beating on the doors. My neighbors, I opened up the door, my neighbors were like, get out, you know? So when I opened up the door, I see just blazing from the garage. And I woke him up, my husband, and we got out as fast as we could. I had him move the vehicles out of the way, and I had him go back in the house to get our 2 dogs that we had in there.
When you got outside and you saw what was happening, you saw what was going on, what were your thoughts?
Oh my gosh. It could I didn't ever think it was going to happen to us.
Do you know how this fire started?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
it
no.
was because of my cousin. And I don't want to mention no names.
Was it your
Okay.
bad cousin?
So it was because of her cousin. Just it gets so much better.
Her bad cousin's lighting fires in the garage.
Wait till she says the reason she thinks her husband set the fire.
Cousin.
or her cousin rather.
Yeah, but her husband might be her cousin.
Leave her husband alone.
But this is a different cousin, I
Your
think.
cousin.
Yes.
And you say you think your cousin started this. Do you know how or why?
He's mad because he can't get with me. I'm married to my husband. And it's a long story. Just make it short.
Well.
We put him in a hospital once last month. And he figured he's going to do something else to get back.
All right, so right now,
the guy's like, all right.
All right, the fire has been put out. Thank you for the information here. All the neighbors here were able to make it out of this house, out of their houses safely. There were 2 garages here that were damaged, and
Kisses from Canada.
Oh, thank you.
Big kisses, Northern Perspective.
houses. And
Jennifer
a few houses
Robbins,
as
thank
well,
you too.
But no injuries. That's the latest here, live in Leavittsburg. Derek Lewis, WKBN.
There were no injuries except a broken arson's heart.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think it was my cousin because he was trying to smash, but Chicken Little over here, my husband cousin, had to smash him back. Wow. Yeah, I would have kept asking her questions too.
Do you think she had any like comprehension on how people would view her just saying, yeah, my cousin wanted to smash, how she knows the rest of the world views that shit, being in relationships with your family members?
She has
or
zero
just completely
self-awareness.
closed? Zero?
Did you see that husband? He was wearing the goddamn American Eagle shirt.
I don't like to stereotype people, but that's Youngstown, Ohio right there. That's
I don't like to stereotype people either. I like to diagnose people, and those people are Ohio. They're Youngstown, Ohio.
Youngstown, Ohio.
Murder capital of the world because
of
it's
the
not
state.
it's not worth living in.
It's pretty awful
Yeah,
there.
well, at least it gets us good boxers though.
That's true. And he won. He got the cousin bride.
Yeah.
He did.
Somebody give him the hippy dippy cousin flippy championship.
Yeah, give him the cousin fucking championship.
Yes. This woman, this host, everybody here seems out of place.
Look at the look of the dude on the left. Look at his face.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't need you guys to know that she's my cousin. We have a very big family.
Hey, Dylan, do you remember Egghead? Do you remember Egghead?
I do not.
Okay. He was the guy with the really dirty bathtub that we used to laugh at all the time. Anyway, he's a very cringy guy. And I told you about our wrestling theme thing that we do. We have our undercard title, our mid-card title, and it's called the Cringerweight Champion instead of the Cruiserweight Champion.
That is actually brilliant.
Yes.
I might steal that.
We can unify the titles some way down the line.
True. Be separate companies.
Yeah.
But
here's the Bannon clip that I got.
Amendment. Yesterday evening, counsel to Mr. Bannon requested a 1-week adjournment of our response to a letter I wrote on October 15th, which stated that Mr. Bannon's willful defiance of the Select Committee's subpoena would lead to tonight's hearing. Without objection, I included my October 15th letter in the record, as well as yesterday's letter from Robert J. Costello, Mr. Bannon's attorney. Mr. Bannon's attorney said they needed time to, quote, assess the Select Committee's request in light of litigation.
Can this guy talk any slower?
Trump.
You could,
in the
yeah.
District of Columbia District Court yesterday.
So this is a special committee, right? That was assigned to this. This is the
it's a select committee. Yeah.
Okay, and so I see Cheney there. What other well-known Republicans are on this?
Oh, well-known Republican. I think Kissinger.
Okay.
Not Kissinger, but Kinzinger. I think is a Republican. I'd have to go back and double check, but I think so. He's one of those like this Trump takeover is terrible, and we've strayed away from the roots of the party. I think types.
Okay, so like Cheney too. Yeah, there was a handful of Republicans that voted yes to.
Even though
convict.
Liz Cheney votes along with Trump 90% of the time and was willing to do everything basically he asked, except the fact that the election was stolen, and that was somehow too much.
Yeah.
However, the former president's lawsuit is immaterial to Mr. Bannon's defiance of our lawful subpoena. I made that clear in a letter to Mr. Costello this morning. Without objections, my full letter is in the record. Furthermore, White House yesterday issued a letter to Mr. Bannon's attorney stating, quote, "We are not aware of any basis for your client's refusal to appear for a deposition," end quote. Before the Select Committee, and further said that, quote, "President Biden has already determined that an assertion of executive privilege is not in the public interest and therefore is not justified with respect to certain subjects within the purview of the Select Committee," end quote. Without objection, I include the full White House letter in the record.
He's not going to read the full letter, is he?
I mean, this video is only 4 minutes long.
But he's speaking. It makes it feel like we've been watching for half an hour.
Slow.
He's an ent.
He wants to milk this, you know?
Yeah.
This is his moment.
So they voted on it, and it was
9-0.
Okay.
To tell Bannon that he has no privilege here.
So then what happens next? Does Bannon go to court for this, or
he'll be held in contempt, right?
Okay.
Contempt of Congress.
Contempt of Congress. Damn.
I think that's what was said. I don't know. I might also be making that up.
Hey, you know.
I like to lie.
He does. He does.
Well, I'm happy you're open about it. It makes my job easy.
Oh.
I would respect Trump more if he just said that out loud. I like to lie. That's really it. Like, if you want an explanation for why I said this thing and it was a lie, I just like to lie.
Oh man, if you wanna hear someone make almost like an attorney caliber case on why Martin Shkreli's a good guy, you'll get it from this guy right here.
For one, I'm not an attorney. I'm a friend.
He loves to defend Martin Shkreli. Well, I mean, like as long as I've known Billy, he loves to like defend people that a lot of people don't like.
I just love to stand up for my buddies.
Like there was the Onision. Yeah.
For my good friends.
I mean, like, I feel like you're picking, like, literally some of, like, the most hated people in the country, right?
Yeah.
Onision?
If somebody is that hated, then I feel like there's a lot of people that are missing something. And if I'm wrong, that's only one person that's missing something. So why not back up a pal? Why not back up a hated friend like Ric Flair or Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I'm
give
not
a- I give a
friends.
good few reasons.
I'm not friends with Bill Cosby.
Or Ric Flair.
Yet.
Yet?
Yeah, if Ric Flair and I can get a Chipotle endorsement together, I'll do a burrito tour with the man. No. But
Yeah. Is Martin getting out soon?
possibly. Possibly
Do you think he'll make
first
a podcast?
half next year. If what?
Do you think he'll make a podcast?
Yeah, he might. We used to do like podcast style streams, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and that's something when he went in, he was gonna have me take over his YouTube channel and do like just keep the thing alive for a while, and we didn't work anything out, so he's just sitting in prison trying to save the world from COVID.
He's the hero.
He's the hero.
He's the real hero.
He's not the hero we deserve, but he's the hero we need.
Speaking of Onision, when Chris Hansen was trying to bring Onision to justice, he interviewed the at the time the sheriff's deputy in charge of media relations in Onision's county, and that guy is now the sheriff of Pierce County, Washington, and he's in trouble because he called the cops on his paper boy and tried to have the cops come and arrest his paper boy.
Yeah, they showed up like 40 deep, right? He said the guy was threatening his life.
He was black and in his neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I've
More
never heard
breaking
a story like that before.
News. Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson has filed misdemeanor charges against Pierce County Sheriff Ed Troyer.
This guy, Ed Troyer, he did an interview with Discovery Plus for the Onision documentary, saying that, we haven't really found any...
Wait. Back it the fuck up. Discovery Plus made a documentary about Onision.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4-episode series.
Chris Hansen basically sold the rights to Discovery Plus.
Like Discovery, like the Nat Geo shit.
Yes, 100%. That they Discovery Plus is their online provider, but they end up airing the Onision series live on Discovery as well. Like
it was on TV.
They put it on the TV.
My parents told me they watched it.
Yeah,
on TV.
They tried to interview me for it, and I couldn't sit down and deal with that.
Yeah, you're in the Martin Shkreli movie, but you're not in. Yeah. You're not in the Onision series, docu-series.
Yeah,
but this guy was on it because Chris Hansen became like a drama streamer in 2019, or was it 2020? Kind of both.
Yeah.
And he was all of the alleged victims of Onision. He interviewed all of them. He interviewed Repsion. He interviewed all the people that were Onision antagonists. And then he showed up at Onision's house and knocked on his door. And he used all of that footage as part of kind of shopping this docu-series around, and Discovery Plus picked it up. And this guy, the Pierce County Sheriff... the current Pierce County Sheriff was involved.
But he was in the documentary, and he's saying all this stuff about the investigation, the ongoing investigation, how hard it is to find evidence. And the case had been closed.
It was closed
for like a year before the documentary came out. The documentary had nothing to say about it being closed. Like they were putting Onision the entire episode 2. They hired a woman, or they didn't hire. They got a woman to interview that was kidnapped and brutally held captive and assaulted when she was 13 by a guy, and barely got free when the police found where she was at and broke her out. They interviewed her about how that could compare to Onision's tactics.
What?
Yes, it's absolutely bad shit.
And Onision was found innocent.
He was
never formally charged or anything.
He was never charged with anything. He's guilty of being probably a narcissist, probably a weirdo. I don't know if he's necessarily abusive. I think manipulative would be fair to say. It's really hard to
I don't think he did anything
diagnose him.
illegal. Did he do some things that are questionable morally? Yes. I don't. So far, nothing's been proven that he did anything illegal.
Yeah, but that's not what the Discovery Plus would like you to think when he's on this criminal. It was a crime series. How do you have a crime series with no crime? How?
Lawyer.
And by the way, I played the DP On Demand relaunch promo at the beginning. There is an episode that a lot of people haven't seen on the DP On Demand series, and it's me and the original DP cast interviewing Onision. Like, he came to the studio, and he answered a lot of tough questions. You weren't there to defend him that day.
I didn't need to be.
I made sure of it.
Yeah, Ben was like, don't show up.
Yeah.
There'll be a 50 in it for you if you don't show up.
I greased his palm.
Stemming from a confrontation between Troyer and an African-American newspaper carrier back in January. Troyer called 911, which, because of Troyer's job, led to a massive police response.
Yeah. So the sheriff is calling, being like, help me, there's this evil black guy snooping around my house. So they send in, a whole team of cops to arrest one guy for no reason. So he's in deep shit. And the thing is because he's elected, all they can do is charge him with a crime, but they can't remove him from office. I guess it's really hard because he has an elected position.
I don't want to defend Onision anymore. I'm not going to defend Onision anymore. But I do want to point out, anybody who ever publicly went out against Onision seems to have a horrible track record of their own. I just want to point that out. They're all pretty miserable on their own.
I want to point out, I know nothing about the Onision case, so I don't know, man. Billy the Fridge could be endorsing Satanists right now. I have no clue.
I might be.
So I'll just leave it to him.
Sure, yeah. It's been going on for like a decade now.
Nick DiOrio.
So, is it Nick DiOrio? Oh, it is. That's cool.
Troyer said the man, Cedric Altheimer, threatened him, which Altheimer immediately denied and which Troyer himself recanted later that night. Troyer soon faced calls from civil rights organizations for his resignation. In April, Governor Inslee referred a criminal investigator to the AG's office, and today the AG filed 2 charges against Troyer. 1 count of false reporting and 1 count of making a false or misleading statement to a public servant.
I thought it was fair, though, that this Troyer guy, Sheriff Troyer, was studied on the Onision case for Onision being a sexual predator. I thought that was a good case for him to be on, since his own son was a convicted sex offender. So that was
That
cool
is
too.
true. I mean, he wasn't even assigned to the case as much as his job before he became the actual sheriff was that he was the guy who talked to the media on behalf of the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And then he got elected sheriff the year after he did the thing with Chris Hansen.
Who has his job now, and what are they doing to defend him?
I don't know.
I don't like this statement, all cops are bastards, because even if it's true, there's a lot of cops that are much worse.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So in our state, Washington State, they just instituted a state vaccine mandate. So if you work for the state, you must be vaccinated. And if you're not by yesterday, you're fired. And this is really sad to know this, but the highest paid state employee is actually the Washington State University head football coach. And he wouldn't get vaccinated, so he got fired. And here's a news story about that.
And one of the most widely known state workers to push back on the mandate no longer has a job.
This guy probably made $3 to $4 million a year coaching football, and he can't even get a shot.
How much do the kids on his team make?
0.
Ooh.
And they did most of the work.
University football coach Nick Rolovich has been fired. King 5's Callie Greenberg is joining us live in the newsroom tonight. Callie, the school called this, quote, disheartening.
Right. They said earlier today Rolovich was informed that he'd been terminated. He left the campus right after that. Then the athletic director.
By the way, his salary was reported as $3 million a year.
Later broke the news that the WS football to the
high level coaches in college get paid so much.
$3 million or all to take a free vaccine. Man, it's such a. I don't know if I could make the decision. That's a tough decision to make.
Yeah. It's also sad that like the cost of tuition to go to even a state college, and they're paying their football coach the most money. You know, that's crazy.
I mean, out of everything, yeah.
Yeah.
WSU football
now,
team.
if Bill Nye, the
about their head
science guy,
coaches.
wanted to
Well,
get a
4
job
of
there, they might pay him a couple million.
Their assistant
Bill
coaches
Nye.
who had been terminated for not being in compliance with the state's mandate.
It is disheartening to be here today. Our football team is hurting. Our WSU community is fractured.
He was one of the most prominent and the highest paid employee in Washington state. But now WSU head football coach Nick Rolovich has been fired for not getting vaccinated against COVID-19.
The non-compliance with this requirement renders him ineligible to be employed.
It's crazy how here in our state, like the public employees, even someone that they would, someone that they pay this much to has to get vaccinated or they're fired, no questions, no exceptions. And then in Texas, they're doing an anti-vaccine mandate even for private businesses. The difference is it's like we don't even live in the same country anymore.
Do you think he'll get a job in Texas now?
They've got
oh god.
Not as a head coach.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
If I had to choose between my $3 million job or getting a poke, I would become homeless.
You okay?
Even though I got the poke for free, even though I went and got it for free. If someone told me what to do, I would say, okay, I'm not going to do it. Just because I'm a prick. That's the only reason. I don't like people telling me what to do.
Okay. But you got vaccinated.
Of course.
Yeah.
I told myself I wanted to do this for me.
Okay.
For me and my future children.
Employed at Washington State University and therefore can no longer fulfill the duties as a head coach of our football program effective immediately.
The school's athletic director and president sharing their disappointment, saying when they hired Rolovich nearly 2 years ago, they hoped he would be a long-term coach. Now the football...
That's another thing. Like, every coach is different, and it takes time to build as a coach and strategy with the team. So usually the first year a new coach takes over, a team has to learn how that works, and they have to get used to it and everything. So it's a setback.
Is once again in transition.
We need to infuse compassion, empathy, and unity back into our WSU community, and that healing process needs to begin immediately.
For months,
Can I just say, look,
yes,
there are people out there that are getting offered donuts to get vaccinated, coupons to get vaccinated. They're getting offered everything to get vaccinated. This is a prime example of incentives only go so far. If somebody is legitimately saying, I will not get vaccinated even if you offer me $3 million, at that point, it has to be mandated.
Yeah.
I bet you he'll get a job in the XFL when it comes back.
It might. He might. I don't know.
Who knows?
Told the public he'd follow the mandate, but didn't explain how. Here he is talking with King 5's Chris Daniels in September.
Have you received your shot or have you scheduled your shot?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that, Chris. I understand what you guys are trying to get to, but
are you seeking a religious or medical exemption?
I'm not going to talk about that either, Chris.
It later came out Rolovich applied for a religious exemption. It's unclear.
Yeah, this is what they're doing now. They're and a lot of them, like anyone who's Catholic that says that they need a religious exemption probably doesn't know that the Pope got vaccinated, you know? So I don't know what his specific religion is, but...
Well, to be fair, a lot of Catholics hate the Pope. A lot of conservative Catholics don't like the Pope because he's doesn't hate the gays and other things, right?
Yeah, which is weird that they call him, I hate to know True Scotsman someone, but to be Catholic, you have to believe that the Pope is basically the successor to Jesus Christ on earth. The guy who took over for Jesus Christ. And his...
Not if he's icky.
Oh, yeah.
I only like to be a Catholic because it's makes me feel closer to the Nazis.
And you saw the story out of France about the Catholic Church, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's...
The 330,000 boys.
I'm not surprised anymore.
But then I looked up the amount of offenders that they had in France. I looked up out of all the priests there were, if the percentage of priests that were offenders was any different than the percentage of offenders in regular population. It's a similar amount of sex offenders in the priesthood that there were in regular population. So the only problem there is that they would cover up all the stuff they were doing for centuries.
My problem isn't with actual Catholics themselves, because there's more of them than any single religion on earth. But the clergy and the institution of the church is the problem. Like
Ben, I'm so happy to hear today, after all these years, you're not anti-Catholic. You're not like a 1700s racist, like, the Catholics taking over America.
I mean, I went to Catholic school K through 12, but I will say that there was a priest at my school that I knew that went to prison for having CP on his computer, and he got arrested. Crazy story. And there's other stuff just in the diocese I grew up in, so it's so widespread. Something has to change somewhere in there.
My neighbor was a diddler and tried to get me to go to a Christian camp, and I almost went, but then canceled to hang out with my bad cousin. And then
you just joined Boy Scouts instead.
Well, my dad pulled me out of Boy Scouts once he figured out I was in it, because he worked nights.
Okay.
He's like, "No, you can't do Boy Scouts. They diddle." So I dodged so many diddle. I dodged so many diddle bullets growing up. My neighbor had an above ground pool. Like, we should have known.
Here's another story about the vaccine mandate. This is
I remember I lost my virginity. First day I went to church camp. There was a girl. She's like, I remember I was at oh god, the story. I was the first conversation. She just opens up about tentacle hentai, and like 2 hours later, boom, I lost my virginity, man. That was like, it was at church.
Did she have a tentacle on her?
We left church. Yeah, she had it, of course.
Hot.
That's why I did it.
Hot. Yeah, no, like, church girls are like the best. They'll just repent for all the dirty stuff they do. Catholic girls are super sluts. Christian girls beg for it. I haven't dated a lot of Islamic girls, but I imagine they're the same. I don't know. Every religious girl is just hungers for the dong, and so. And so do atheist women too. Like, this is I think.
So you mean just all women?
I think all women hunger for it. They need
the Hunger Games.
They need to play some Squid Game down there with the tentacles.
Hey, we need to be progressive about this. Gay men too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And here's the thing: straight men get a bad rap. Okay, because straight men actually don't want to have sex. They're just the object of everybody's affection. They're forced into it.
We're objectified.
Yes, we're objectified as straight men.
Here's So here's some more people losing their jobs over the
Just
mandate.
coming in from our Washington State Patrol this morning, new numbers about how many employees we will lose at the State Patrol. 127 Washington State Patrol employees will lose their jobs over the vaccine mandate.
And they're also making it a rule like next week where you have to show proof of vaccination to get into a restaurant or any
I gotta say, unironically, I think I'm actually happy about all these cops just like getting kicked out of the force.
Yeah, me
and
too.
The biggest reason why is like, for me, this is like, we're increasing the IQ of our police force in one fell swoop by like 20 points, man. Like, we're just basically like purging all the fucking idiots all at once. And if anything, probably gonna increase the how pleasant a police interaction is overall in every state. I mean, like, this is doing more work in purging dumbass cops than all police reform has in the last 20 years.
How many of these cops do you think are going to try and pull some Joker shit now?
Well, this cop at the end, this clip they show, I think this cop released it on Instagram or somewhere. He talks shit to the governor.
This is my final sign off after 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington.
You're hearing from one of two State Patrol troopers who resigned over the vaccine mandate.
Oh, they cut out the part where he's like, I think he said like, Jay Inslee can kiss my ass.
They
or something.
made their final calls over the
end.
radio hours before the mandate went into effect. Troopers are state employees and must have been vaccinated or exempt to keep their jobs.
There should be no religious exemption, honestly.
No, not at all.
The only exemption should be medical exemption, and you have to have a history of bad reactions to vaccines or
I think they were saying like 92 to 93% of the force has been vaccinated. 6 to 7% got religious claims, and then 1% are probably going to be the ones that get oofed if they didn't follow through last night and get it in before midnight.
Yeah. This is the one that affects normal people the most. It's especially around here, because a lot of people depend on the ferries to get around. The ferries are going to be fucked, basically, because they've had like a bunch of workers call off on a day and they had to cancel ferry routes, and now they're losing a ton of employees.
Yeah, it means more of this, more empty ferry docks. Fewer workers will mean fewer boats, which means fewer crossings and more headaches for passengers.
But these people act like it's the government's fault and not their fault that people are going to be missing boats. You know,
I wonder if they'll do Uber for like boats now. Like you can call up a boat to take you across the water.
Boats, dude.
Yeah.
Someone, yeah.
Combined,
you probably need all kinds of insurance for that kind of stuff. I don't know.
35 years of experience. Chief Engineer Craig Hendrickson notched 23 of those years, a career that is now coming to an untimely end.
It's still surreal. It really is. I feel like I'm in shock.
Craig is a father of 5. He was granted a religious exemption for the mandate, but he says the ferry system refuses to make any accommodations that would allow him to keep working.
I applied for other accommodations, like
what does this
maybe
dumbass
driving a
shirt
snowplow or something. You know what I mean? Anything, nothing. They won't accommodate me in any way, shape, or form.
The ferries have been plagued with problems during the pandemic,
sorry.
specifically staffing shortages that have paralyzed the system at times. Ferry officials blame a global shortage of
You
mariners.
didn't want to
but
accommodate them by getting a prick, so why should they accommodate you?
You're the only one I know that calls the vaccine the prick.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people call it poke, right?
Yeah, the poke or the jab.
The jab.
Yeah.
I like the prick.
Because prick is like another word for male genitalia,
I know.
right? Yeah.
I call it the stabsies.
The stabsies.
Yeah.
His crew members say,
Is it not cool to call it Fauci ouchie anymore?
Was it ever cool?
Yeah.
Never cool.
Yeah.
that isn't the real problem.
They'd rather cripple the state ferry system than keep the boats running.
No, you are crippling it.
You are the problem.
Yeah. They'll hire new people pretty quick.
Worker Christopher Anderson says the state could solve the crew shortage if they would simply grant the accommodations many are seeking to stay on the job. Now, he says, the public will pay.
The passengers, they're going to be missing medical appointments. They're going to be stranded at the terminals for hours on end.
Yeah, just
they're going
think
to
of
be
all
late
the-
for their
think of
own
all the
jobs.
help you could have done if you would have got the poke.
You're fucking over. Yeah.
Ripple effect.
At one point this fall, just 28 workers called in sick out of 1,400 crew members, forcing the cancellation of more than 150 crossings. Since then, ferry officials have cut the number of boats to meet the worker shortage. And even with about 200 crew now expected to lose their jobs, ferry officials believe they have the situation under control. Well, we're pretty confident that we'll be able to keep the schedule that we have right now, so people can rely on the ferry service.
I wonder if they got people lined up to take these jobs. I don't know.
We are in a tight. But the job market's pretty fucking tight right now, to be completely honest, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Look, I just hope that the ferries don't stop so that I can go across the water easily and not have to drive when I want to go get a delicious yakisoba meal. They have the Susumu Japanese meal, Fujiyama.
What are you talking
Across
about?
the water. You got to take the boat or drive
What,
all
is
the
it
way
in
around.
Bremerton or
it's
something?
it's in Silverdale.
Okay.
Fujiyama. They have the Fujiyama sauce.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
I probably won't go there anyways, but I just like to have the option.
Okay.
Now, this is a real disconnect for me. The idea that I would have to rely on a ferry service to get around is bizarre to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Washington, there's like a big thumb on the far western side of it, the Olympic Peninsula, and people live over there. And if you don't take the ferry to get across the water to get to Seattle, you have to drive all the way down to Tacoma and then come up around. So the ferry is like a straight shot from wherever they live to downtown Seattle.
It's kind of like what Washington looks
I
like,
just
right?
fucking move.
That's the penis.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh yeah,
I have to live in a city.
Yeah, like if you live over there, you enjoy like rainforests and the beaches and that kind of stuff.
It's beautiful over
Yeah, it's
there.
beautiful, but I wouldn't want to live there either. You know,
It's a great place to be a serial killer. My family grew up over there.
Oh, okay.
We had to move back to the city after a while.
Yeah. Here's one more
After you
local.
lost a few cousins.
Here's one more local story that I don't know. Seattle just made a lot of ridiculous news recently, And I'm glad the police are keeping the streets safe, though.
Seattle police have taken down a suspected Lego theft ring. Police say more than $10,000 worth of Lego sets were stolen from a business downtown. An employee at the...
You ever see those like drug bust photos where they have, all the cocaine and weed and everything all stacked up, and there's usually guns and stuff? This reminds me of that, only toys.
I'm pretty sure there was a Magic the Gathering card sting recently, too, because for a couple months I was getting crazy good deals off Craigslist. Like, how could they exist? I think someone was stealing them, and then it dried up. So the cops are cracking down on all the fun.
Keeping us safe.
Legos were cool, though, when I was a kid. What the hell is that Warhol Lego set? With Marilyn Monroe?
That's probably a puzzle. I don't think that's Lego.
It's a Lego. It says it's got the Lego logo down in the corner.
Have the logo. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Andy Warhol Legos?
Yeah, I guess it's probably like Legos that build together to make the painting. They have the Harry Potter crest Lego set over there, too.
Do you think someone snuck a cell phone into the Virginia State jail, and Chris Chan is orchestrating this Lego heist from prison?
Savage.
I'm trying to imagine, like, if you are like a illegal Lego dealer, though, you got like a perfect defense mechanism. The cops running behind you, just throw a bunch of Legos, they're fucked. You have all unlimited like fucking foot fuckers, right?
Yeah,
they're done.
Yeah, you could probably take out some high issue police tires if you're in a high speed chase.
Just
chuck
throw them on the road.
wheel. Yeah, you're
gonna have to
gone.
get tanks.
I love the motto of the Seattle Police Department up at the top, too.
Service, pride, dedication.
Beautiful.
Yeah, our because of all the stuff that happened, last summer, or not 2 summers ago, with the CHOP and everything here, our police chief retired, and our mayor is not seeking re-election because they did. I think they thought they had cushy jobs. And they didn't. They went to the police chief, and mobs of protesters went to their houses too.
Yeah.
It got pretty insane here.
Are those Duplos down in the corner? Like, who steals Duplos? Those better not be Duplos. I don't know. Imagine being the fool that steals the Duplos. I don't know. I'm really trying to peek at all these different sets. I haven't bought Legos for like 20 years. This used to be like what I went to when I was a kid, I would go to the store if I had a little bit of money. It would be the $2.99 Lego pack, the little tiny Lego pack. If I had a lot of money, I'd usually get like an $80 pack. I got a $20 Lego pack was like the best day. Go home, build that sumbitch, then turn it into a dick tower or something.
I know that Legos have gotten like more expensive with time. Do you think the reason why we're seeing busts like this is because like since they've gotten so expensive, it's now more profitable to go steal this shit and sell it?
Oh yeah,
probably.
It's and these are like it's hard to put an anti-theft device in these things. Like they're pretty easy to swing out of a shelf.
Every Lego should be a tracking device. Every single brick.
Yeah. You need an international database of which each Lego brick is located currently.
Yes. It's like Cerebro, Professor Xavier uses Cerebro to locate every mutant on Earth. It's kind of like that.
Mhm.
It's a Lego
Brilliant.
Cerebro computer.
Ooh.
We are going to read through our donations really quick here. Anyone watching on our stream, the link is in the description below if you want to chuck us a couple bucks. We'll read through the Streamlabs that you sent in, and if you want to give us a like, that's cool. Anyone watching on Twitch, if you want to follow us on Twitch, you can do that too. I just posted in the chat over there if you want to give us a follow also.
Jennifer Robbins, thank you. Northern Perspective with that big love, thank you. Nicholas Diorio again, thank you. Alagas, can we get a tip train started? The sweet boys got bills to pay. I'm sure any amount helps, guys. Hey, any amount helps, but $100 helps the most. Lowbrow gestures, y'all see all them Legos? Y'all see? Y'all see them Legos? Y'all see? We see.
That's all of them for now, right?
All the Legos?
No, all the
Donuts?
Yeah.
Oh, we get more. Poop Cobe sold the Mantis staff for $400.
Whoa.
That's most definitely what's up.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. That Mantis staff was a quality toy. I think that It's worth $400. Whoever bought it
I think
should
it was
cherish that.
weird, and I wouldn't have paid anything for it. But okay.
Well, luckily, you didn't have to buy it.
Okay. Is that it? Oh yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna get into our next segment. It's called antagonism. Oh no, that wasn't it. Oops. I fucked up.
People are discriminating against wolves.
I played the wrong intro.
Wow. They're laughing at us.
I'm a
Our stupidity.
professional, okay? I've been doing this for a long time.
Very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to play the right intro because I played the wrong one. Here we go.
I should turn off the goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TPO, they're going to touch me.
All right. Here's the counterculture mom. The counterculture mom talking about the bisexual Superman.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh, hey, actually, for research purposes, I actually read the whole comic. Everything that's out so far. The 4th edition actually comes out today.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is why they did it, so people care about Superman again. Honestly.
Yeah.
So like,
unironically, why I read it too.
I know, and that's ingenious because when like 20 years ago they killed Superman off, and it did the same thing. Everyone all of a sudden gave a shit about Superman again. So that's just another tactic that they're using to get interest in a property that not so many people care about anymore.
Want to know what? And I read it, and the whole time I was like, "This is shit. This is shit. This is shit." Okay, give me the next edition. Like the whole time, it's like my trash. It's like when I got a flat screen. Like I got a 70-inch flat screen just so I could watch Jerry Springer.
So this is son of Superman that's now Superman, right?
Did you know Jerry Springer was mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio at one time?
Yes, and then he got into, I think it was a prostitution or drug scandal of some sort.
He wrote a check to the prostitute and got caught.
He almost
He wrote a
ran for
check.
Senate when I still lived in Ohio too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is son of Superman that's now Superman.
He is the acting Superman.
John,
acting
he,
Superman.
he is John Kent.
Is his
son of
dad still
Clark Kent.
alive? Is his
Of course.
dad
He
in
is
the
in
picture?
space. He's in
in
space.
space. Okay.
All right.
Because I'm hoping that it turns out that Superman's super homophobic and didn't realize it until his own son came out as bi, and that's the story we're gonna get. Superman's biggest flaw is tolerance.
He's gonna come back down and be like, of candy ass. Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. That I forgot about this Amish vomit.
Are pleased to be joined now by Tina Griffin, the counterculture mom of counterculture. How are you?
Mom. I'm doing great. I'm really getting upset that, this.
She's got that Wisconsin thing going on, or Minnesota, one of those two.
You guys are giving me so much content right now. I'm Googling all these people right now for later usage.
Yeah.
Cancel culture business and the transforming of who I grew up as a kid following, now turning into gay business. I'm just not happy about what's going on for our kids' sake. Leave it alone.
Well, the latest story is out, and apparently Superman now is bisexual. I guess the tiny red shorts were a tip-off, but now we know that Superman, or should we call him Superman? We know that Superman.
Oh my God, he went there.
This guy was it confirmed that he was gay conversion therapy? The bald guy here, the big fat.
I don't think it was, but
testicle-looking dude.
we get gay vibes from the guy that's talking right now.
Because he is enjoying this like more than usual.
By the way, what terrible PR. Dr. Duke show. I mean, like, you would think. I mean, David Duke.
Yeah,
Dr. Duke,
I think that's why he did it. He wants to get accidental viewers. Come on, stay a while. We hate too.
Man now is bisexual. And you want to know why he's bisexual, Tina? It's because Hollywood says, quote, "We don't need another straight white savior." I guess, does that mean Jesus is enough for them?
No, Trump is enough for us.
Jesus is gay too.
Well, okay, the first thing is it's not Superman, okay? All the headlines are making it Superman because it's flashier. It's the son of Superman, so that's the first problem.
But
the second thing is,
He has
What were you
taken
gonna
on
say?
the Superman moniker now that his father's in space, right? Okay.
Yes, but people are thinking that it's Clark Kent when it's John Kent. It's his son
Yeah.
who are taking on the legacy of Superman in this area. But I mean, like, is it really that weird? Like, I mean, he's like a half space alien, half human. The fact that the only thing he got out of like all of this was he's bi, like that's the one thing outside of the usual like heteronormative structures in this country. Like, I think he got out of it fine. Like, I thought maybe he'd be attracted to sheep or something. I mean, he is half alien, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was Kryptonian, I would start banging animals because I figured my dick would cook them from the inside out. Then I could eat them afterwards.
Okay,
Right?
you know what I got to say about that? It's crazy they rip on Superman because the original intent of Superman was to be parallel of Jesus. And so we've come a very long way. So they're ripping apart truth as we know it from the fabric of our country and our society. But just because they say Superman is going this direction, I say no.
It's a made-up character. Truth? It's his son. It's not even Superman.
Yeah, how are we ripping up the fabric of Christ anyways? Like, that guy had one girl around and 12 dudes. You know what he was up to. At most, he was the godly bros pulling off gangbangs.
Yes. Yeah.
At best, him and Judas were close.
He's not. You're lying, and stop spreading the lies. I'm going to keep Superman in my heart, who I believe Superman is.
Well, good
She's
for
talking about
you.
Superman as if he's Jesus.
Good for you.
Tina, let's look at the evidence.
No.
He's incredibly neat. That little curl of hair. He's buff. He looks good in super tight clothes.
So this guy is the opposite of everything.
Right.
This gentleman here looks like he's one gimp mask away from sitting in a box.
By the way, the only Superman actor that spoke out against this was Dean Cain, the worst
And you
Superman.
want to know the thing? Dean Cain, what a fucking idiot. I fucking hate Dean Cain. The problem with this thing is he goes on Fox News and he gives this interview. He's like, this isn't brave or stunning. It would be brave or stunning if he went to an authoritarian, homophobic country and overthrew their leader. Because then he says, like, specifically, I hear he saves the refugees. This one. Why doesn't he go to the country directly and overthrow the government? The thing is, I've read the comic. That's literally what he does. He saves the refugees, and then like the evil dictator hates that he saves them, so attacks him, and so then he fights the evil dictator. That's literally what happens in the book. He said, I'd read it if that's the story. Well, Dean Cain, that's the fucking story. Go read it.
Dean Cain, you should have read it.
There's a great animated movie out there called Superman Red Sun, and it's basically like, what if Superman had landed in Soviet Russia? And even Stalin is in the animated film. It's cool.
I heard about that. And
Yeah.
I heard that he kills Stalin or something. And
Yeah,
then
like
big
he ends
dictator
up.
boy.
Yeah, he ends up like noticing the death camps and stuff like that, and can't really stand behind that. But yeah, it's an interesting story.
That's my husband.
Camps on Krypton.
On in like gulags and shit.
Gulag.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo and Dean Cain can be in the new Just Us League.
Just Us League.
Just us old white men crying about everything.
And if we go to the picture, he's got his tongue jammed down the mouth of a boy. So I'm sorry,
boy. He's boy
but it's going to be
kissing.
hard for you to maintain that picture in your heart, because what we're seeing here is the queerification of all of our heroes.
I mean,
okay,
it is queer as fuck, but it's also really hot, in my opinion. I mean, maybe that's just me.
I'm the type of guy that thinks kissing boys is, fine for boy kissers. I don't kiss boys. Do I want to watch guys kiss boys? Of course I do.
We were stranded in an elevator together for over an hour, and he did say, like, all right, does this mean we have to fuck now?
Well, I waited till the 30-minute primer period.
I guess,
and put it
yeah.
on the table. When you're locked in an elevator for over 30 minutes, you have to present yourself for sex.
I had never heard of this rule before.
I've been stuck in elevators before.
Well, yeah, Billy, I'm happy you're prepared to give people instructions on the on elevator sex etiquette.
He just happens to always make elevators get stuck, and poor people have to get stuck in elevators. We had gotten
God is
stuck
good.
twice in that same elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got stuck in there with Pimp Monk one time. He got so
the same
freaked out.
elevator.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was a me thing
It
or
was
it was
a
an
you
elevator thing.
No, it was only you.
That elevator was
only
wonky.
you were on. You're the only commonality between the elevator getting stuck all those times.
This is Superman, son of Kal-El.
That was before you had your weight loss too.
Yep.
In the clutches of Henry Bendix. Is Henry Bendix the bad guy or the gay guy?
Yeah, that's the dictator. That's the dictator.
Bendix?
The evil.
Bendix.
Yeah, Bendix. The Bendix, the dictator.
Speaking of Bendix, my middle name's Benjamin. We got a couple of Bendix over here.
Yeah.
There was trending on Twitter last night, I guess the Supergirl television show. Supergirl might be gay and might have like an affectionate love lust for Lex Luthor's niece or something.
In the comic book in the 90s, she was with Superman or Lex Luthor's son that had like long red hair.
The next hero, he shouldn't be gay, but his superpower should be that he could seduce any man. So like to beat the bad guys, he's got to just fuck them into submission. But he's not gay, right? So that everybody who's mad about superheroes being gay, it's like no big deal. He's not gay. He's straight. Only thing is, his only power is he can fuck anything into submission, right? Like any man, any bad guy. Oh, Lex Luthor, you're so smart. Why don't you use that smart head of yours to suck this? And then it goes like, how it would go. And then he wins, and he's the hero. Like that's a good character that doesn't have to be gay and can still toe the line. Right?
Totally.
Okay, I have to just read this for everybody. I'm just not going to accept this, Dr. Duke. I know we do a lot of stories on this, but I have to read this from our Counterculture Mom app.
Is this guy actually a doctor?
First
Tell me he's a doctor.
I mean, the word doctor gets used by so many people.
Like a doctor in communications, could be anything.
Yeah, he could be a doctor in theology,
paragraph for an alert for parents.
Or he could be a dentist, for all we know, or a chiropractor.
DC comic writer Tom Taylor revealed on Monday that the Man of Steel is coming out as bisexual, adding that replacing Clark Kent with another straight white savior could be a real opportunity missed. And they're now launching him, 17-year-old John Kent, as he takes over the mantle of Superman from his father Clark, and now bringing this agenda. So I say no.
I just got an email from the people at DC Comics, and they want to hire you.
Good.
They liked that idea
It's
so
about
much.
damn time.
To this, and we need to teach our kids who Superman really is. I don't care if he has tight, short, red shorts on. My husband looks great and has a fun curl and looks buff. So that is masculinity, and they're destroying it. And I say, no way, Jose, not on my watch.
The thing that troubles me is that this writer revealed that Superman is bi now, right? So what gives a white, straight writer the ability to out a gay person?
Because hold on. Why are they talking about him like he's real?
This is the best gymnastics I've seen. There's mental gymnastics and a mental deficiency gymnastics. My guy here is killing it. What gives him the right to write a gay character and out this character as homosexual as a straight man? I don't know, dude.
Kryptonian, you never know. You never know if his Kryptonian cousins could be very condemning. We don't know how Superman himself is going to react. It could be abusive household. We gotta wait for Superman to come out of the shell to like out himself. I love how the 180 and like woke turning this around. Well, Superman needs to come out when it's Superman's time.
Okay, so you know how superheroes always wear masks to hide their identity?
Not always.
Yes.
But often,
Superman doesn't.
So here's another character I have.
Okay.
He's a hero. He does all the things a hero does, but he's also against cancel culture. So his mask is he just goes out and saves the day wearing blackface. Like, how do we judge him? How do we we're like, no, he's bad, but he's doing good. It's like. It's creating a discussion.
Billy, no.
It's creating a discussion.
No, Billy. No.
This is not a good idea.
No.
It's not a good idea?
No.
I don't think it's gonna go well with PR. HR is not gonna like this.
Did I just lose my deal with DC?
Yes.
I think
Shit.
I think he won't be let into the Justice League. Actually, I think the ACLU might look into it
It's
more.
the
Or the
Justice League.
NCAACP.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
I thought that was
Oh,
verboten.
I don't get what's going on, Dr. Duke. Who are the people behind this? Like, they need to get some mental help with what's going on. They're corrupting everything that we grew up on with kids. I want my kids to experience the same comics.
Can I just say, to be clear, like, pause this for a quick second. Like, people, like, there's a school shooting in this comic.
Really?
Like, yes, he stops a school shooting, right? Like, there's some pretty, like, you know, people die, buildings collapse, there's a dictatorship, like, there's shootings and stuff, there's wildfire that burned people alive. Like, it's a violent comic.
Wow.
And like these comics are pretty violent, right? I remember, like, the Superman Dies had, like, a bloody, like, cover and stuff. If you're talking about protecting your kids, you care more if a boy kisses another boy than, like, if somebody gets their fucking brains blown out or they kill themselves or there's a school shooting. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I feel like there's, like, a list of priorities, right?
But also, this is just like, this is your golden era of comics is gone. People aren't buying this comic. Like, your kids aren't going out to get the old Superman either, right? Like, and
this is directed towards teens anyway.
Yeah.
Not even kids.
Yeah, so if the new generation doesn't care about good old white savior Superman, which honestly I didn't care about him when he was white savior Superman 40 years ago, boring character to me. Beyond, like, he wasn't just white savior, he was, like, privileged. He had the ultimate privileges. He could, like, turn back time if he ran backwards, right? Or was that Flash?
Are you talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman?
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't watch any of that. It was boring to me. I just, like who cares? I want Superman now to be gay so that he has some adversity that he can't just stop with laser eyes. He's got to be like, whoa, you're homophobic? Well, guess what? I can lift a car.
Wait,
you guys are like, well, that's cool.
Okay, so I don't know, like, what, like, John Kent's, like, kryptonite is. It might have just be homophobic slurs. Like, we don't know yet. I want to see what they do with it. Like if Lex Luthor just has to call him the F slur to defeat him, that would be pretty shitty. Like, I don't know.
He just starts crying and loses his powers.
Same.
And then right when Lex Luthor's about to murder him, he gets canceled, so he can't murder him, and Superman wins.
And hero type movies, they have to keep their paws off. We need better people in Hollywood. Can some new people rise up and get in there quick?
I've given up on Marvel and DC. Sick of them.
I've given up.
Marvel. You know what? You know why he's against this? Because this dude is a fucking, like, Superman villain. Okay.
Yes.
He speaks like a superhero villain. He looks like the Penguin. I mean, I don't know, man. I think he's perfect for the role.
Yeah, he's the Crimson Piglet. Yeah, but like, what was it? What's her name? The Gina Carano, when she got fired from Star Wars, and then Ben Shapiro's like, we're gonna give you a movie deal right now. We're gonna give you a movie deal, and you're gonna come in, you're gonna work for me, and we're gonna make you a mega star with one of our own original white powered films. And then she comes in. I don't know if they ever filmed that. I think she's back on Star Wars already.
I think so.
I think they brought her back in, but like, you don't have to wait for Gina Carano to get fired to make your own shit. Like, just go make your own stuff, make it better. Sell it to your audience. The problem is people like this make things like Egghead's Dad. You get Canyon Trails, and it's shit. It's not good.
What was that one movie we watched? That really bad, like the Trump Prophecy. That's what it was.
Yeah. True story of a man.
True story.
Who got stuck in a fire, hit his head, and saw visions of Donald Trump becoming president, and then Donald Trump became president.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yep.
So bad. So
Very
ridiculous.
Bad. This is a video. I can't remember her name right now. Who was the girl that poo-pooed herself?
Ooh.
Gun girl, Caitlin Bennett.
Yeah. This is her video about how she survived the Rona.
I hope you get corona and die for not wearing the right mask.
Say that again?
I hope you get corona and die for not wearing the right mask.
Well, I've got some bad news for her and all the other haters out there. I got corona and didn't die.
Good for you.
I just have long-term health problems.
Yeah, I want to hear more about you pooping yourself than surviving corona. How'd you survive diarrhea?
I wonder how corona affects bowel movements.
I heard actually one of the symptoms I think is diarrhea. So
After nearly a year and a half of COVID going around, it was finally my turn to get sick. I was really convinced that after all the rallies I went to in 2020, all the supporters I took selfies with, and all of the plane rides I've been on that I definitely already had COVID. But I guess I never actually got it. To my luck, you know who I did end up catching it from just a few weeks ago? My own family. Thanks, guys.
Oh my god, my insides are on fire!
I wanted to tell you guys about my own experience with it and share what helped me.
How did she become a media figure? Even on the right, she's just awful. It's just because she brought a gun to her university.
She's not awful. Like they don't expect much on the right. She's poo on pants.
I mean, it doesn't, like, if you become for example, you remember that one kid who during the protests in DC, like a Native American guy, like beat a drum in his face, and then like the media wrote about him and became like a martyr. Like if he started like a Twitch channel, or if he started like a YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure he'd get 300,000 subs just out of that one experience. And then you give him a production crew, and you can make anything look consumable enough, right?
You have to remember, one of the great voices on the right is Jesse Lee Peterson.
I've been trying so hard to get on his show to no avail.
He's been on our show once, and we had our two black friends come on with us, and he didn't know how to deal with that.
What do you mean?
Like when he realized that half of us were white and half of us were black, he couldn't do his normal kind of like race baity shit. And when he found that out, he was like, so some of you white, some of you black? And we're like, yeah. He's like, amazing.
Amazing. Oh, do we still have contact with this guy? I wonder if the guy still works for him.
Probably.
We should pass the contact on. 'Cause
Yeah.
You got to go on Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah, I've been trying my hardest. I want to go on there. I'm willing to do the whole shtick and the whole ball and chain act. I can get my girl. Go on with my girlfriend. I saw Destiny did that. I'm willing to do that. I want to go on.
Do you like gay Superman? Do you like
gay Superman? Yeah.
Do you like gay Superman?
Like
amazing.
My pussy's super blown out.
What is a Superman?
Oh, you say you got a girlfriend and you like gay Superman? Well, amazing.
Get better because I learned firsthand that this sucks. Unfortunately, thanks to big tech censorship, I don't think I'll be able to tell you everything about my sickness and recovery. So head on over to
Tell us about you pooping
if you
yourself.
want to catch
That's
my
all we
full
care about.
Uncensored thoughts on what I went through.
Big tech is such a boogeyman that they use. It's not even naming anyone specifically. It's all just this big tech.
What do you mean?
boogeyman.
It's big tech. It's big.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
like,
specific.
okay.
It's tech and it's big.
Yeah, it's like, who's actually behind it? Can you name them, and what exactly are they doing?
I can name them, but only by initials. CIA.
You sure? I think Caitlin Bennett would be more like JEW if I know Caitlin Bennett.
Because you guys know there's a lot more I want to tell you that I can't right here. So earlier in the month, I was at a wedding, and after I had already returned home, my younger sister got a notice that a classmate of hers tested positive for coronavirus and she was exposed to them. A few days went by and I started getting a cough, so I took a COVID test and it came back negative. But then my symptoms started to get worse over the next few days, so I took another test and lo and behold, it came back positive.
A lot of those tests are coming back negative early on.
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. Once I started getting a fever, the worst symptoms started to develop. The body aches and chills. I have been sick a lot of times in my life, but I have never experienced
Like sick enough to shit yourself at a party?
Yeah, I think so.
such painful body aches before.
Do you think she just put too much trust in a fart?
Honestly, I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what she did. I mean, everybody's done that.
Yeah, I'm not.
And she was wearing white pants or something?
I'm not mad at her for shitting herself.
Real defeater. That was the. Well, I could never think of a good reason to wear white pants.
No.
Unless you wanted people to see that you were walking around with stink. 'Cause some people are into
True.
that. It's a kink.
True. Maybe she's into it. We don't know.
the stink kink.
My temperature at just 100 degrees, it was still unbearable. Then later I lost my sense of taste and smell, which was probably the weirdest part of this entire experience. I figured that it wouldn't be such a big deal until it happened to me. Everything I ate was either salty or tangy, and it was just really disgusting. My cough started to get so bad that we actually bought a pulse oximeter to monitor my oxygen levels, and there were some days that I had really bad nausea from my high fever.
It really sounds like you should have got fucking vaccinated. It sounds awful.
I'm glad she's like being open and honest about it, though. Like, you know, she's like, this was horrible. Like,
yeah, at least she isn't like, I just a slight cough and I was fine. I'm like, yeah, I mean, she's like, I needed to get something to monitor my fucking oxygen levels. Like, that doesn't sound like a nice time.
yeah. What about all those people that can't afford to monitor their oxygen levels? Those poor people.
Bootstrap.
Those poor people.
Cough. My husband didn't start to get symptoms until 3 days after me, and his came on even quicker than mine. He started getting intense chest pain and a high fever.
Sounds like you almost killed your husband.
I have a fever.
But since he has asthma, he decided to start treatment early since his chest was hurting so bad. On his second day of symptoms, he went to get monoclonal antibody treatment, and he started feeling better just 2 days later. He never lost his
Oh, I see what she's doing now. I'm like, when is the other shoe going to drop with this? She's yes, she's talking about treatments and how
tastes like me.
Well, the thing is, all those symptoms that she listed for her husband, though, that's suspicious because all of those same symptoms equally apply when you have long-term exposure to Caitlyn Bennett. So we can't really like figure out if it's COVID or her.
Yeah, his symptoms didn't show up until 3 days after hers because he doesn't spend a lot of time around her.
Right.
He never got more than a minor cough for a couple days. After I had been fighting off my illness naturally for over a week.
See?
Naturally.
I wasn't getting any better. In fact, I was
Wait, pause it for a second. You just said that you had your. By the way, people are like, oh, I fought it off naturally. No, if you're using all this other medication, if you're using like something to monitor your oxygen level, that's not natural. Natural would just be like, I'm sick. Okay, can't do shit. Let the body do it.
No, monoclonal antibodies.
Yeah, very natural. Yeah.
Probably getting worse and had a fever of nearly 102. So I decided to go get the antibody treatment myself. My fever was gone literally the next day, and even my taste started coming back. I was kind of nervous to get this treatment since it is experimental, but I am so thankful that I did, and I'm so thankful
So wait,
that Ron
okay, pause it for a second. So it's fine for this to be experimental, but the other thing, which has been monitored by a million different doctors, had a million different studies done upon it, that one of the versions of it, the mRNA, is somewhat in the realm of possibility of being experimental, and there's an option that isn't even that. No, fuck that shit.
Right.
Fuck that shit. But this experimental stuff, totally fine.
The antibodies she got, was that not just the vaccine? Like, is that what the antibodies are?
No.
Huh.
It's not the vaccine.
No, she got some other bullshit.
Yeah, monoclonal antibody. Remember when Trump got COVID? That was one of the things they used to treat him. That's before they had the vaccine.
Huh.
Yeah.
DeSantis has made it so widely available in the state of Florida. I didn't even know if I'd be allowed to get it since I'm young and I'm not at risk, but I was just able to walk right in, tell them I had COVID, and got treatment for free. Now, I can't give any medical advice since I'm not a doctor.
What's up, Doc?
But I would
I hate these little clips that she's putting
definitely
in here.
see if
I
you're
hate them too.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro does this shit too.
Yeah, it's short attention span.
It's they alone are not entertaining enough, so they gotta take other vastly more entertaining properties and splice it into their video.
the antibody treatment because this is what worked for my husband and I and what's working for thousands of other people. In the state of Florida, anyone of any age can receive it, but other states are much, much more restrictive. So before you get sick, I'd look into seeing what treatments you have available to you.
Yeah, so like she's not pushing a narrative to like help people avoid getting sick. She's just like, yeah, you'll get sick. Just have a plan of like what you're gonna do.
Yeah, look into your area for what treatments are available to you. I think there's one called the vaccine.
Right.
You might be able to get that before you catch coronavirus or get fired from your ferry job.
And how much does that cost again, the vaccine?
Nothing.
Well, I guess you can just walk in and get it for free.
Wow. What an expensive and burdensome plan to keep yourself not sick.
Yeah, I don't know. There was this one guy out here who lost a $3 million a year job because he didn't want to get it. I think, that's morals right there.
Yeah, I just looked up an article about, it's a news article out of Alabama. How much do these treatments cost? And I guess it says $3,000 to $5,000 a dose of these treatments.
So you're getting $3,000 to $5,000 of free medical care, and you're just leaving it on the table.
The federal government is covering the cost.
And that's a dose, so that means that could be up to $10,000. $10,000.
But I think that it's only that much because Martin Shkreli gets his cut.
Oh,
true.
Thing about this whole experience is that I was surprised my husband and I got hit as hard as we did. I've had friends who have only experienced cold-like symptoms when they came down with COVID. Some only lost their taste and smell, but we were not as lucky.
Yeah, because none of those people shit themselves at a party. You have a fucking terrible immune system.
Jesus.
You know it's bad because she chose white pants that day. Like
that is bad.
If you're gonna shit yourself, I'll tell you this. I wear denim for a reason. You're going to go out in denim because you're worried you're not going to be able to trust a fart. You don't go out with white pants on unless your immune system's so bad that you didn't anticipate a shit. You should always anticipate a shit.
And never trust a fart.
If you can't trust a fart, who can you trust?
Sad to tell all the haters out there that I'm better now. And I have the best governor in the country, Ron DeSantis, to thank for that.
Thank you, Ron DeSantis. Thug life, Ron.
How is it Ron DeSantis? Wait. How do you have it? How is it Ron DeSantis's like good graces that you have been deemed life? How did he help? He didn't do shit.
Because the federal government gave covered the cost for her monocoloidals, and Ron DeSantis chose to spend their money on monocoloidals rather than whatever else they're spending on here in Washington. We never get monocoloidal vaccination butt plugs or whatever the hell it is. Whatever she got. Yeah. I don't know words. Thug life, cool, so fun.
That was my exciting experience and why I haven't filmed a video in a hot minute. I didn't want to dive into the politics around COVID because
by the way, this is the man right here. This man's going to win it, okay? My money is on Mike Pence 2024. He's a sleeper candidate. I think he's going to pull it out.
Big money Pence.
You think he would primary Trump?
I think, here's my list from top to bottom, okay? Number one, if Trump runs, Trump wins, okay? But if he doesn't, I think it's going to be Pence.
Who do you think is going to win for the Democrat side?
I think it's either going to be Joe or Kamala. I don't see any other option, really.
Do you see a likelihood or even a slight possibility of Joe Biden not running again, but also not making Kamala Harris run? He could hand her the presidency.
He could, but then she would still have to run for re-election.
She would, but she wouldn't have to be primaried.
You mean that he would win the election, then he just hands it over to Kamala?
Well, I was thinking at the end of his first term here, when he's got maybe like 6 months left, he hands the rest of his term over to Kamala, and then Kamala runs. She doesn't have to pass a primary because she's a sitting president, and then she runs against whoever the Republican is.
I mean, he has the legal right to do that, yeah.
Yeah, he could do that if he doesn't feel like running again, and he wants her to like be the candidate no matter what. If she's the president going into the election, she wouldn't have to do that campaign and run against whatever other Democrats wanted their shot.
As a feminist, I think it's wrong to let a white man give us our first female president.
True.
I could see that happening, though. I mean,
in fact, that's why all white men should not vote for women for office, because you don't want to be like, hey, I'm a white man giving women power. Like, they can get that power themselves.
Exactly.
He gave us the guarantee of the first woman vice president.
The guarantee?
He was saying, Yeah, he said he guaranteed that his running mate was going to be a woman when he first announced that he was running.
Oh,
Yeah.
Then he'd have to win though. So
I mean,
Well,
but
it wasn't when he first announced. He announced it later on.
Okay, yeah, like a little bit after.
Remember when he announced that it would be his vice president would definitely be a woman, and then Andrew Yang tweeted, "Huh?
Yeah.
That's not the talk we had."
Yeah, that did happen.
That's pretty funny.
I'd probably get banned. And two, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys so that you can prepare for when it happens to you. It was not fun for me, and I probably would have had it so much worse if I didn't find a treatment center to receive antibodies. If you guys want to hear more about our experience, we have a full-length episode up right now at libertyhangout.tv that goes into
She
way more
spelled
detail
sex
than I can
wrong.
tell
Jesus
you
Christ.
right here. And if you want
the sex-exclusive content for her OnlyFans, she spelled sex wrong. She put 2 extra E's in it.
to support my work
Damn.
directly, you can visit lhmerch.com and purchase this.
All right. Yeah.
Damn, she really plugs a lot of shit, huh?
Yeah, I thought we did a lot.
We do.
Damn, I think I plug subs maybe twice in a 6-hour stream. I do it very little, but I probably should do it more. I need to get on the on her grift level.
Yeah. Matter of fact, this next 25-minute segment is going to be us grifting all the way. Just
beautiful.
Send us money. Send us your firstborn.
Like the stream.
Like the stream. Join America's armed forces, military, and fight for us in the name of America. You could do this all tonight, guys.
Yeah. Here's
if I get to 1,200 subs by the end of the stream, I'm gonna cancel the Taliban. I'm gonna take them out. I will single-handedly take out the Taliban. I'm gonna dox them. I'm gonna dox the entirety of the Taliban.
Whoa!
I'll do it.
You can't dox the Taliban.
Yeah, watch me.
All right, Ben, we have to dox somebody first. We have to one up this. Who can we dox? I'm gonna. You know what? If you're gonna dox Taliban, I'm gonna dox Biden. If we get, if we get to, I don't know.
That's the leader of the free world right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna dox actual Biden. You guys get us, I don't know, 1,000 kisses or whatever the hell this platform does. I don't know. Get us up to 1,000 roses. Craigslist, wink, wink. Greek for 1,000 roses.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Damn it, Ben! There goes all my bartering chips. Did you look it up? Did you not know?
No, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. I saw you typing though. I was like, did Ben just look it up?
No, I already knew that.
Okay, good.
Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight.
Hold
the
on.
COVID vaccine has turned into a life or death
I
decision.
don't trust men named Shannon.
Man, it's way more common in Europe. There's a lot more men in Europe named Shannon.
For a Colorado woman, she needs a kidney donation, but UC Health will only do it if she's vaccinated.
Denver 7's Patrick Perez joins us live. And Patrick, UC Health is not backing down from this policy.
No, it is not, Jacqueline, not even when a state lawmaker stepped in. UC Health says this is really for everyone's safety. This is the letter State Representative Tim Geithner of House District 19 says a woman in El Paso County received from UC Health. In it, the hospital system warns the woman she's being placed as inactive on the kidney transplant list. The reason?
Now, $3 million is one thing, but you need a kidney transplant, and all that stands between it is you and getting a vaccine.
And $5,000 to $10,000 worth of free medical treatment that stops you from dying. If you need a kidney transplant, you're probably in a medical situation right now where COVID's not gonna fucking help, right? And you're just leaving that shit on the table and now putting your life on the line.
And her reasoning, they interview her here, is priceless.
Clients because she won't get the vaccine.
I feel coerced. I feel like my life is being held in their hands in exchange for a shot. And you know, the attitude is just take the shot.
The letter, printed on September 28th, is giving Leilani Lutali 30 days to either start the vaccination series or her name will be removed from the list and she won't be able to get a kidney.
The understanding is basically...
I kind of want to go even further than this. These people don't want to get the vaccine and they don't want to lose their jobs, right? I don't want to have a job and I still want to be able to live my life. Is that fair? Can I just circumvent capitalism? Can I just get like a houseboat or something?
You could do that.
Can
You
the
could live
government
off the
chuck me a
grid.
houseboat?
Conform to this demand, take this COVID vaccine, or otherwise you will be denied a life-saving procedure.
Leilani says her friend is showing early potential she could be a match, but both of them are opposed to getting the vaccine. In a statement to Denver 7, UC Health explains why it won't allow them to move forward. The hospital system says, quote, in almost all situations, transplant recipients and living donors at UC Health are now required to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in addition to meeting other health requirements and receiving additional vaccinations. Patients who have received a transplanted organ are at significant risk from COVID-19. Should they become infected, they're at particularly high risk of severe illness, hospitalization, and death. UC Health goes on to cite multiple studies that show the dangers of transplant patients remaining unvaccinated. And that woman now has fewer than 30 days to get the vaccine, or at least to get the vaccine series started, if she really wants to get that kidney transplant. We'll have more on this
Better
tonight.
get that vaccine.
I saw her earlier on a different interview. She didn't say it in this, but she said it's because I think she believes the vaccine is made from like baby fetuses or something stupid like that. And I think it's because I think they tested it against like decades ago with vaccines. They tested it against like embryos or something. I don't know, but I heard a doctor explain why it's nonsense.
Stem cell research?
No, it's not stem cells.
Because I heard that they just jam needles into babies before giving me my vaccine. That's why I decided to go out and get it.
Oh, that's why.
If it's baby tested, it'll work on me.
True.
At 8 o'clock
That's a good
on Local
point.
3. For now, we're live in Denver. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe baby testing, like for car accidents in the future, might be the way to go. Because if you think about it, if a baby can survive it, then basically anyone can.
Yeah, I used to love those crash test dummy commercials of the
Baby
80s when
crash
I was a
test
little
dummies.
kid. Yeah, think how cute it would be if it was just babies instead of the dummies.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Be adorable. They hit the walls, they squeak.
There is no equality of the sexes.
Okay.
It is
Right out of the
absolutely
gate.
100% impossible
Puts on the hat, mid-rant.
for you to be equal with a man. It is not possible.
See, I think it's impossible for 90% of you fucking trash males to be equal with me and the other top 10%. So why are you trying?
Because God didn't make you to be equal with a man.
Oh, God didn't make you to be equal
He
with
made
me
you to be
either,
the help-
you fucking loser. I made myself better than you.
Help me for a man. That's how he made you. He did
So
not
if God made women inferior to men, why don't men circumvent women altogether and fuck guys? Checkmate.
True.
Checkmate.
True.
Theist.
Also, last time I checked, God took a rib out of man's stomach to make women, right?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
means men have one less rib than women. Therefore, women win.
Ooh. Ooh.
Way to go, God.
you to be equal with him. I'm so sick and tired in everything that people do that they got to think the men and the women of this. It's so ridiculous. It's so disingenuous and stupid. I'm
Okay.
so tired of hearing it. It's
Speaking
like go
of
home and be a
stupid,
lady.
What's he mad about? I don't even understand.
Thanking men and women.
Who
the men and
cares?
women. We should just thank the men.
So you can't say like I'd like to thank everyone because that would encompass the men and the women.
I would like
and
to stop
anyone else.
thanking people like there's actually this idea that people are thankful anymore. People are greedy and selfish, men or women. Let's stop using thanks. Thanks is it's like a magic word. It's like prayer. Oh, thank you. Yeah, of course, thank you. I gave you something. I did something for you. You're in debt to me. Don't just thank me. Go out and give something to me or get the hell off my lawn.
Lady. Stop dressing like a slut, put some clothes on, and be a lady.
Okay. For one, if you were in the top 10% of men like me, you would know that these women that are dressing like sluts will be a lady if you tell them to. Simple.
Okay, I'm getting my girlfriend over here for a second.
Okay.
She's got to change clothes quick, but I want to make sure that she learns this guy's message quick. Okay. Because if I gave up a rib for her, then I just want to make sure that we're both getting red pilled tonight.
Yeah. If you go as far as to give her some ribs, she should at least have some coleslaw and mac and cheese ready for you. Like
True.
that's only
Actually,
fair.
wait.
Uh-oh.
Does he have? Is he just gonna pull out some coleslaw and mac and cheese?
Oh no. Oh, okay. That's not a bad feast. That's not bad. She's pulling some weight here. Pulling some
That's
weight.
why I love her.
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I brought you here because I want to make sure that we both are red pilled. Okay, we're both red pilled. We're both very based. Okay, and so this guy has a message that I want to make sure that you learn, that we both learn, because I want to make sure that we stop being soy boys in this household.
I mean, talk about yourself, but yeah, what am I supposed to be
doing? You just listen.
Already based.
Should we
She's
start
already
this
based.
from the top.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's from the top here.
All
Okay.
right, here we go.
Okay.
There is no equality of the sexes. It is absolutely 100% impossible for you to be equal with a man. It is not possible. Because God didn't make you to be equal with a man. He made you to be the helpmeet for a man.
The help what?
Help meat.
The help meat?
Yeah.
It's the worst type of meat.
Okay, yeah, that's even worse than hamburger helper. That's not very good.
Yeah, I would prefer hamburger helper over help meat.
Yeah.
This sounds like some
Also-
low-grade baloney.
I'm a little bit confused. Like, so our men are not supposed to be equal to women, but I'm just curious. In his household, did the women at least get braces? I mean, I'm just
Got him.
Yeah.
See, I'm saying
Holy shit.
this guy's not even equal with other men. He's lower tier. If you want to say women aren't equal to men, you got to start getting equal to like at least the upper 15-20% of men. This guy's bottom barrel. He's like Larry the Cable Guy
did he
without
have to, like,
panache.
put on the hat to grow like confidence, like rather than drinking to get his confidence. He's like, okay, I'm charging up, man. I'm wearing the fucking hat.
That's exactly what he did. This was a safety blanket.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan, where's yours?
Can you go find my Tennessee hat? I want my camera. I was in Tennessee recently for a libertarian conference. It was a blast, and I got a Tennessee hat, and I've been going real country since then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm happy I could be helpmeet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I gave up a
Thanks,
rib
help
for you,
me.
so I'm happy you got some good education.
So we're all based in red pilled now.
Yeah.
Do we have to say disavow on the hour every hour? Is that how this works?
Disavow.
Disavow.
Oh.
We should be good for another hour.
No, I endorse.
Oh,
Based.
yeah.
All right.
That's how he made you. He did not make you to be equal with him.
The reason why a lot of these videos, the people sharing these types of views are in a car is because cars are pretty much soundproof to the outside world. So no one that's actually in his physical presence will hear him say this.
Well, it's because he doesn't have enough control over his own family to keep it peace and quiet at
Exactly.
home.
That's why Spexo was always driving around.
Yeah.
What was happening? He was at home and he was doing this, and his wife started yelling at him. So he got in the car and drove to a local Walmart to do it. So
Yeah.
his wife wouldn't yell at him for it.
His wife was yelling at him for being a dumbass. His kids were running around kissing Superman. He had to get out and go to the Walmart parking lot to get his hating on.
Yeah. I wish we had Trumpster Bob to talk to Dylan right now. But he'd probably say stuff that, like, he could say a lot of his stuff here on YouTube, but I think maybe he's toxic to Twitch.
He's not a good Twitch boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. As long as you're not like saying slurs, you're usually good.
He doesn't. Has he? Oh,
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in a slurry.
He is. Yeah, he's usually like super. It's this crazy guy we found online that gets blackout wasted on Keystone Light and has all these weird theories about things that cannot be substantiated in any way. Like he believes AOC is a secret Muslim that's trying to infiltrate the government, and the only way she can prove it is if she poses naked for him so he can see if she's had mutilation. And he also has this thing called the butthole challenge where he challenges any man that says they're not gay to put their butthole on camera live, and he'll show his butthole to prove that our buttholes are all blown out from all the gay anal sex that we've had throughout our lives.
One of the most memorable moments I have
is this COOT Bob? Is that it?
Yes. That's one of his many channels. He got arrested for prank calling 911. He gets blacked out drunk and calls just random places like his local representatives and everywhere. And there's
Thank
one.
you. I'm getting so much content today.
Oh man!
Out of everything that he has done, one of the moments that stands out the most with him is when he was eating an ice cream sandwich and he was bragging about how you couldn't have it in socialism.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I get this ice cream sandwich because I work for my money. You couldn't have ice cream sandwiches in socialism. Like, those things are cheap as hell. It's
They
not
are
a
like,
big get.
25 cents to produce. It's like extremely cheap.
I guarantee you under socialism there would be ice cream sandwiches. I guarantee you. Might be the best we have, right? Might not get better than an ice cream sandwich, but that's like an easy minimum.
True. I gotta look into this guy. This sounds great.
He is a special.
He put a phone number. It's probably like a Google Voice number or something up, and we just started randomly calling him, and he would answer every time. And for the longest time, he knew us as the gay guys from California. We don't live in California, and we're not gay.
That anybody knows.
But he just
of.
called us that. He has all these weird theories about California too. Like he was trying to tell us California's only got one highway in it. It's like, no, it doesn't. You know, we've been there.
Wait, so you're saying I could just call him on stream and just like talk to him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little careful. How deep it goes because he's really quick to just drop a few.
He'll definitely drop the F slur. You know, like he definitely does that.
Well, damn, that's the one thing you can't do.
Yeah.
Well, he'd find a couple other things you can't do and maybe do them too.
Yeah, he's a special kind of guy. And you know, for a long time he was telling us he was like 6'3" or something, and then he got arrested, and then it said like the arrest record said he was what, like 5'7",
5'6", I think,
something like that.
Yeah, I the first time we talked to him live, I asked him how tall he was. He's like 6'2".
Yeah, something
and I was like
that.
Okay.
And you can't tell because he's always like sitting down.
I knew he was a little dwarf. I knew it. And when he lied to me, I took his word for it. I was like, well, I guess I was wrong. Never second guess myself again.
Yeah. What a liar, Trumpster Bob.
How tall do you think I am?
Okay, I'm gonna say 5'10".
On the money.
I'm really good with height.
There are pictures of, because I saw a picture of Dylan standing next to Vosh, and then I saw one of him standing next to Destiny, right? They were both at the Libertarian thing, right?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, there's this ongoing joke about how short Destiny is, and so people on the subreddit just kept making me small in small increments, bigger and bigger and bigger to make Destiny look smaller.
Yeah. Well, if you want to know how tall Billy is, just look up his IMDb page.
No, don't do it.
That's how you can find out how tall Billy is and a little information about him as an aspiring actor.
No, it's a lie. People falsified my IMDb.
Let me look this up right now.
No, they falsified my IMDb.
I don't know
and
about that.
I'm probably losing out on acting gigs because of this.
Okay, so it would be Billy the Fridge, or would it be
Billy the Fridge, IMDb. These are all trolls disgusting trolls that are probably losing me jobs because they got me labeled to like some obese Danny DeVito character. And he's already getting all that work. I can't get those jobs.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't seem to find it.
Really?
Huh.
I hope it's not taken down.
This is probably the greatest day of Billy's life if that happens because he paid money to go in and edit it. He got a premium IMDb account.
I tried.
And
really?
And they still wouldn't let him
It was
edit that part.
$150 and they wouldn't let me edit it. I was pissed.
I gotta see this page now.
Yeah,
I'm so curious.
hold on. No, it's there.
up there.
It's there.
The thing is, there's an IMDb page that says Dylan Burns, so every time I get invited to a show, if nobody knows
Oh, you know what?
fucking actor, everyone immediately.
Someone changed because it used to say he was an obscure transgender actor but it just said so they changed it to an esteemed actor.
Oh, yeah, this might be.
Did someone fix it? 5'8".
I'm not a junior. This is still wrong. Why does it say I'm 5'8"?
It used to say you were 5'4".
Oh my god!
At least you're growing.
Wow, he gained 4 inches.
How are they fixing it and still getting it wrong?
So let me read this. He found the majority of his success in comedic roles in music. He is an avid Magic the Gathering player and streamer. He streams primarily on YouTube, but has a Twitch account that he uses from time to time. He co-hosts a podcast called Drunken Peasants.
Hold on.
Nothing. All of this seems right.
I recognize this name. This is one of Billy's simps that came in and fixed it for him.
For one, I have a lot of simps, and they got it wrong.
Now.
I'm not a junior.
I like how it says your salary is $60.
$60. The old one was vile. Do they have a history? Can you look at the history?
The old one was great. It was great.
Do they have the
I don't know how to
history?
do that. I don't know. You could probably look it up on like the Wayback Machine or something, right?
I'm not sure how this works.
That would
Got
be
the internet going.
I wonder if I can find it.
The old one was hilarious.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
Was,
you paid
it was like
that
saying I
much
was like a
money to
700.
change-
What?
You paid that much money to get
I paid $150 to.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
for
but then I
something like
canceled
that.
it. It was like a 2-week period for trial, and I could cancel.
Oh,
And when they
okay.
wouldn't change my height,
God.
I canceled it. I was like, forget that.
So
like,
there was this recent thing where somebody made like, I don't know if it was like automated. I don't think it was because a lot of it was custom information about my life. Somebody made like a page like about me. And it was like, oh, find out Dylan Bird's net worth. And of course, it doesn't ever say how much money I make. It goes through all these things, most of which are pretty on a point. But then it goes to my net worth, and it just says, Dylan Burns obviously makes more than the average college student. And its source was just me with my friend getting brisket. And that was their evidence that I make a lot of money.
How dare you?
brisket is spendy.
You know what?
It is.
There's no way back cap of it. There's two. There's or actually no. You know what? Hold on. I think I might have it. No, I don't.
All of this doesn't matter. It's in the past. We don't have to bring up that it called me a 700-pound, 5'4"
It was
transgender
hilarious.
who found himself at Chipotle or something. Like, what was the? He's named after a diarrhea attack at Chipotle. It was rude. That was rude.
was beautiful.
It was lies. One, I'm not even transgender, despite
I know.
popular belief.
Billy, I won't judge you if you had a diarrhea attack at Chipotle.
Oh, I definitely have had a diarrhea attack at Chipotle, but it wasn't factually correct in the bio. Like if they would have said, yeah, one time he had a crazy blowout at Chipotle. Yeah, that was true. I don't know why it would make the bio, but they said I got my name there. It didn't make sense. Like, why would you get the name Billy the Fridge from a Chipotle diarrhea attack? All of it was wonky. I was pissed.
Yeah, it was not captured. It doesn't exist.
Well, if it doesn't exist, it never existed.
Finally, you got your wish. Your
No, because
Christmas...
it still says I'm 5'8". That's the worst part. All that other stuff, I wouldn't care if it was there. If it was, I wouldn't care.
Junior.
I wouldn't care if it said I had like an inverted peenie. I wouldn't care about that. I wanted to say that I'm 6'3".
Well, then it would still be wrong.
Nope, it would be right.
It would still be wrong.
I'm 6'3", 6'2" on a bad day.
On a bad day.
On a bad spine day.
You're the first person I've ever heard use the term "a bad spine day."
You don't know a lot of people that were
By the way,
formerly
there's
600
photo
pounds.
evidence that I'm taller than you.
This is not true.
Yeah, the picture from the Sam Pepper.
You want to
Ice
call me
Beside.
out? You want to call me out about lies? Then spread one of yourself. That's fine. shows the world how trustworthy you are.
Spinal.
I'm taller than most men on my back. Got a big old gut, a towering cock.
I was like, how so?
Tower of cock.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do an OnlyFans where I just stack donuts on my wanger.
He got he won a donut eating contest like a long time ago, like what, like 14 years ago or something?
7,000 years ago.
No.
Before donuts were invented.
No, but like I rewatched the video of that the other day, and you ate every donut. What was it? 15 donuts on your tray?
I think it was like 11. I don't know.
I think they said 15 at the beginning of it.
Possibly. I lost count.
And you had one left at the end, and everybody else had like 5 or 6 left.
Yeah, I did a lot of donuts.
Yeah, that's how you got your donut thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the origin of the donut necklace.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
I did all the donuts.
That's like a staple, you know?
Yeah. I did all those donuts, and then that week I also won a rap battle. And then someone was like, "Do you want to perform rap on stage?" And I was like, "Yeah." They booked me for a show that month, and I started just doing rap after that. I did a rap. That's how I became a world-renowned fat guy.
Me and Billy tried to get into downtown Disney, which is part of Disneyland, and they wouldn't let him in with his donut chain, and they wouldn't let me in because I had like a ton of weed in my pockets.
That's a weird combo, huh?
Yeah,
we were contraband.
Yeah. Sucks. I think we're going to wrap it in a few minutes here. I did put, for everyone watching on our channel, I put the link to Dylan's YouTube channel in the description below. If you're not subscribed to him, you can go there and subscribe.
And it's Twitch.
And if you want to check out the Drunken Peasant, you can go to twitch.tv/Hasanabi and sub to him.
No.
Yes.
That's how you support the channel.
Yes. I watched Hassan and
He
H3
covered the
show last
Milo
night.
thing back in the day, and I didn't even know it. And we just watched the video the other day. Yeah,
I was watching Hassan Abi and H3 last night on their little podcast they do, and like later into the podcast, I heard me talking, and it was like they have a clip from like stream I did with Keemstar, where like I think I was laughing at something Keemstar said. I was like, there was something I'm gonna beat them up, and it sounded like me, and I was like, was that me?
Keemstar randomly replied to one of my tweets recently. It was weird. I tweeted about, so there was this girl, I don't want to get into it, but she was trying to use one of my old suicide attempts against me.
Oh, God.
And he responds to the tweet where I'm like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why are you bringing this up? And then he responds to the tweet saying, don't do it. Like, don't do suicide. Just randomly. Like, out of fucking nowhere. I don't know Keemstar. I've never met Keemstar. I've never talked to Keemstar. He just throws that out of nowhere.
Don't do it. That's crazy.
Then I retweeted and I'm like, Keemstar, why are you here? I'm a little old to you. I'm a little old for you. I'm 20, right? And then fucking never talk to me again.
To be fair, I think that all his girls were 20. You hit that perfect little spot.
Oh shit, I'm still good for him for a few more months.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey Keem, how's it going, baby?
You'll find him in really weird places. Like one day he just randomly jumped into Pimp Monk's stream.
Yeah, he loves the internet. He's always on the internet. That's his place. He was like, Xbox Live? I love this. I'm going to make a career out of it.
And he did it. By God, he did it.
Well, Dylan, thank you for hanging with us tonight. Hope your pizza didn't get too cold.
It's pretty cold, but it's okay.
I like cold pizza personally, but I know a lot of people love that hot pizza life. But
That's good.
appreciate you hanging with us. Everybody watching at home, thank you for all the support tonight. If you are not watching live and you're watching recorded, type something in the comments that will trigger me. I dare you.
Yeah, and probably in about, 20 minutes or so after the end of this stream, I'm probably going to hop on the DP Twitch channel and play some Diablo 2s over there. For anyone who wants to watch that, I'll be over there in like 20 minutes or so after this. Thanks for being on, and I'll be in contact if you ever want to come back on again. We'd like to have you.
Awesome. And hey, if either of you want to go on my stuff, I have the Hippy Dippy Roundtable, and of course the championship. Hey, Actually, I need an announcer. Billy, would you want to be an announcer for that?
That would be beautiful.
Let me know when.
That would be beautiful.
Awesome.
Also, our buddy Jeff Holiday, if you're familiar with him, he told me to ask you if he could be on one of your debate streams sometime.
Oh, shit.
Too.
People are finding some unique ways to try to get on the debate roundtable, man. I had somebody walk up in person and ask me once. I mean, it's getting weird. But sure, of course, Jeff Holiday is allowed on. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Great.
All righty. Everybody.
Awesome. Thank you for taking this off my bucket list. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
No problem at all.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.